like you, hoping, praying, run away to something new. My mistakes brought me to this place. I had to fall to get to you. To
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Northern Territory Esports League, League of Legends 2021, and I have a different shoutcaster today. I hope you guys are ready for it, coming over from the Rocket League side of things. David Moore's actually coming in today to help shoutcast League of Legends, and I'm excited for it. How about you, David?
Oh, Bledexer, mate, you get better and better at those intros, I got to say. Doing such a great job, mate. Look, it's good to be here, everyone. I've been called to action here with a few of our Shoutcasters. So, happy to be... I do play League of Legends myself, not doing too well at the moment. I do not want to talk about that much. But, it's good to be here with you all, and I'll do my best to shoutcast the games alongside Bledexer.
Yeah, it's happened to all of us. We all go through those periods in League of Legends. It's just a part of the game. But honestly, I think it is something that should be covered more often, because a lot of us, we are just solo queues. We are not professionals working 9 to 5, like playing these scrims versus other pros. We are stuck in our solo queue domain, playing with those teammates. So it's actually quite relevant to the scene. And
I was going to try and put my best KDS voice on. I might try and do that soon, just to disguise myself, make myself sound a bit more like I know what I'm talking about, and not some silver hard-struck pleb.
It's tough, honestly, in the lower echelons, and even the higher echelons, it doesn't even get that much better. You just change from, like, there's a certain type of thing you have to deal with in low elo, and then at high elo there's a different type of thing, and then every elo toxicity is just there. You know, it's a big part of things, but right now, guys.
Right
now,
go on.
I was just saying, right now we're just waiting to get into that Champions League. Both teams are almost ready. We're just waiting on the captains to give us the go ahead. We'll hop straight into that.
FF.
FF versus Job Seekers.
Yeah.
Tell me, David, I know you've been on the Rocket League side of things and running other businesses entirely, but what do you think of the league so far and how it's been going?
I think it's going pretty good. It's actually good to see. And while we're on the subject of solo queue and everything, this is kind of relevant, but it's actually good to see actual teamwork. Now, this is not something I get to see in solo queue at all. Well, in the current games I've been playing anyway. So I'm really actually going to be taking some notes for myself tonight on how these teams actually play as a team, because you know, that's the one big factor in League of Legends is you do have 5 people, those being 5 tangibles to determine the outcome of a game. At the end of the day, that's what League of Legends is. It's 5 people working together to get an objective, right? So we're really going to see that. Excuse me, I'm having trouble speaking. We're really going to see that with these teams. And I think from what I've seen, Job Seekers Alliance are a bit more better teamwork, I guess, from what I've seen. But in saying that, I have seen some, them drop the ball a few times when they're playing as well, mainly against the top teams. But FF have definitely shown their colours as well. So this will be an interesting match.
Yeah, honestly, if we're looking at how the season's been going for both teams, Jobseekers had kind of an early surge. They were winning a lot of their matches early on. I'm not too sure on who they were matching up early, but like you said, once they started facing up against those top echelon teams there, Jupy's Angels, Destiny, Youngblood, just holding down those top 3 spots, basically from the get-go. Yeah, they have struggled to top over the Giants of the season. But for Fun's actually quite the opposite. They start off with a really rough. They start off with a forfeit. They didn't make it on time, unfortunately. One of their players was there, and they just backed that up with even more losses to their name there. So it was pretty difficult for them to start. But they've actually had a resurgence, and they've toppled Destiny, one of the top teams in the competition. I can't remember.
Yeah, that is interesting.
One of the last times Destiny lost was just to Jupy's. Other than that, I can't remember a time Destiny lost to another team. They've really just had their one kryptonite. So it's
hard to call. I mean, you don't see Destiny lose that much, and maybe they could have been having an off game. A lot of people said the other night when they saw the loss, "Oh, is this Destiny? What is going on here?" But we did see some good play by FF, so. It'll be interesting to see this time.
Yeah, for sure. We saw some good play from FF. We saw some big mistakes from Destiny, but either way, the scoreboard is going to stay like that for the rest of the season. It's up to FF to keep up that streak that they've got going right now and try and make it back into that top 4 for playoff contention. And Destiny, they're sitting pretty. They just have to fix those mistakes. Make sure they're not dropping too many games, because that seeding does matter in the end. They are pretty solid into that top 4 there, but anything can happen in the second half. We are currently in week 6 out of 12, guys, so after this week all the standings will be quite clear. You're at the halfway point, so perfectly everyone will have played 8 games in total, and you can see basically how the teams have played out
where everyone's
in the first half.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm liking that Diana ban. That Diana I think she's strong in all areas right now. I think she's top tier in both jungle and mid lane at the moment, so definitely one that I would be personally wanting to get rid of.
Yeah, and everyone who seems to play that in the jungle role this season has just been popping off. Kiratine especially, we've had Azuko from Destiny pick that up, and he hasn't had much prior games, but he's popped off on that. So many people are picking up this Diana pick in the jungle and running train on NTE Sports, so I think it's a good ban away. Obviously, the remaining champions there, Renekton and Set, target bans, and Blitzcrank, fresh buffs. Fresh buffs this patch, David. What do you think about the pick?
Well, I think, Blitzcrank, we just see some good early game. See if they can get the invade. They're probably going to be expecting it, though, so it will be interesting to see what they do there. But yeah, definitely good to see Blitz back in the game. He's now top tier in support, I think, now, with a few buffs. So I forgot exactly what got buffed, but I believe...
he got some more damage on his Q, and he got some more armor, and I think one of Blitzcrank's main risks is that he is very all-in sort of champion, and giving him more damage and more armor is definitely going to help those all-in situations. But that said, picking him early on into the draft is a sort of risk, because suddenly enemies can draft around it. They could pick the Morgana and straight up block that hook, or they could pick stuff like champions you just straight up don't want to pull into your team, like something like the Fiddlesticks or something like that, which is a nightmare. So we'll see.
Pull a Leona in.
Oh, yeah,
don't want to pull that Leona in, man. That
sure.
Leona, she would have stunned and then...
if she gets onto that 80 carry after getting hooked in, it's basically just a whoopsie from a Blitzcrank there. He'll pretend he didn't do that, but yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Camille also locked in here, pretty safe top laner, but we haven't seen Kel'Thuz's on the pick. We've actually seen Kel'Thuz on the Cho'Gath a lot, so he's actually been put on this Camille here. But that said, Camille is sort of still a flexible champion. We've seen her in the mid lane, occasionally in the jungle role in the past, but they've kind of changed that champion a lot so that she's more comfortable in the top lane than the other roles. And speaking of comfort, Shortmaster and Stairboy, this Caitlyn has been quite the pick for Stairboy, I believe. He's usually the one piloting that Caitlyn, but Shortmaster and Stairboy are both pretty interchangeable between those two roles. We see Job Seekers flexing those two around 80 carry and support a lot. They've got really good synergy. It doesn't matter who's on 80 carry, who's on support, they usually perform well.
I actually main Kate as an ADC when I put in ADC. Yeah, nice safe pick. Can get the distance. Oh, nearly had a Q dodge there.
Yeah, they're definitely leaving it to the last second thinking about it, but that is definitely a decent bot lane. Tristana, of course, has that W mechanic where she can cancel the hook if she's ever in a spot of bother. If she times it right, she can just get right out of that rocket grab. And also, paired with Leona, their all-in is really scary, so Caitlyn Blitzcrank definitely have their work cut out for them. But also, this patch, Caitlyn also received a buff onto her Q. She got way more damage, I believe. So both these champions in the bot lane are going to be a lot more powerful than last patch. So Jobseeker's definitely reading the patch notes and making decisions accordingly here.
Oh man, I'm keen to see that mid-air Blitzcrank grab. Tristana. I love to see it.
There's always the mind games. If Tristana lands it right, times it right, she can completely cancel and negate the grab. But if Blitzcrank delays it, there's mind games involved. You can even throw in an emote. I've seen the Blitzcranks walk up in emote and you think it's the rocket grab animation, but then they Q right after the emote and they hook you right out of your jump. There's actually lots of mind games involved with how Elo Blitzcrank play, but we'll see how it goes in that bot lane here.
Yeah.
But yeah, currently just banning out junglers. Rek'Sai being taken away. I'm expecting another jungle ban if they're going that way, but no, the Ahri. So one problem that Chris Strider's faced in a lot of his tournaments, even in the past, you could say, is that people look at him and they see him as not really a liability, but a threat here. So they take away all his strongest champions.
Yeah, so, Diana Renekton.
He's
definitely the leader. He's definitely the leader. Throw him off a bit. Throw the leader off a bit, and then he might. Yeah.
And Chris Strider does like,
actually.
Yeah, it is a good strategy because Chris Strider does like to go for that counter pick. So often people are able to throw 3, 4, 5 bans even his way and not really see much punishment because he hasn't picked his champion yet. But now he's definitely got some stuff to fall back to. We've seen him on the Fizz in the past, is one that comes to mind. I've even seen his Malphite mid in the past. We'll see if this is the sort of composition you want to pick that into. It doesn't really look like it, but it's up to him. We'll see where he goes with that. But Echo being locked in, there is so much dive on the side of for fun here. Just got Leona going in, Tristana going in, Echo going in, Camille
can see it already. Leona ult, then boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, every champion's so mobile as well. So yeah, we'll see how they deal with it. Looks like that Malphite mid is going to be the pick here for Chris Strider.
Oh man, I'd love to see a Yasuo right now.
Yasuo, who... the knockups are there. The knockups are there, but they'd have to flex some champions around. But honestly,
I don't think they can.
Woodson knows a bit. Instead, they've got 3 beefcake, like 4 even if you count Blitzcrank here. We've got 4 melee champions just standing in front of this Caitlyn. And Caitlyn doesn't really specialize in that hyper carry role. She's more of a lane bully. If you get the poke down in lane with that extra range, you land those Qs, you land those ults, you can build yourself a pretty big advantage. But right now, she's going to have to put out a lot of damage in this team composition. There's not too much coming out. I'm assuming that Malphite's going to go AP, but yeah, it's pretty rough. There is so much damage and tank killing available onto the side for fun that I have to lean to their draft a little bit here. But
Kate will definitely need to stay safe in the team fight. If she is taken out early, I can see big trouble for this Job Seekers Alliance team because they need her to be doing the damage, but she's going to have to really work on her positioning, as with everyone, I should say, but her also.
But for sure, there's so many tanks. If they get a bit out of control early game for Job Seekers, the damage just won't be there for the side of for fun. So I'm looking for Job Seekers to be very proactive in this early game, try to snowball a little bit, and I think they'll be getting through this draft, no worries. But if it does end up going to those team fight scenarios and they haven't necessarily built that advantage, I think it's going to go to the side of For Fun. But anything can happen. We saw Destiny lose to For Fun because that early game invade was a big factor. So even level 1, just from the get-go, can play a big part into what's going to happen.
Definitely one to watch. Yeah, they're definitely one to watch the For Fun. Having that win over Destiny's definitely got them as a bit of a dark horse in this tournament now, because they are, they're on the sort of on the bottom there, but they're creeping up. So
yeah, 2 wins.
Hey, Lennox, you have to excuse me, man. I just got to quickly take a bathroom break. But if you want to do the shout out to the sponsors and everything, I'll be back with you guys shortly. Thank you.
That is perfect. We are going to head right over to those major sponsors right now, and we are shouting out Paul's Iced Coffee, the territory's own, celebrating their 50th anniversary, 60th, I believe, actually. So long they've been in the territory supporting us, and now they're supporting new businesses like Next Tier. We are growing here. We are trying to build the recreational activity for young kids up here and old people alike. Esports is accessible to everyone, and that's why they're supporting us. They're helping us bring you Northern Territory Esports League, so hopefully you guys can support them as well. Northern Territory government doing the same thing. They've hopped on board. They've seen what we're doing, supporting us so much. And McDonald's Darwin, I believe, have given us some vouchers for today's giveaway. So that's going to be on the spin wheel later tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you are dropping some messages into chat. The more you drop, the more likely you're going to end up on that wheel. And if you end up on that wheel, you got a shot at some pretty good prizes, if I do say so myself. So I'm going to swap over to those minor sponsors right now. And yeah, just run through these minor sponsors. We got Next Tier Entertainment, run by David Moore. You guys got to drop to an event sometime if you haven't. And speaking of, we got some big events in the making. We'll probably touch on that after I run through the rest of the sponsors.
Yeah, huge event coming up with that. Yeah, go on. You're doing great.
Serotonin Beauty, VR Gamers, Gaming Creations, Tracy Village Social and Sports Club, and yeah, we'll touch on them too. Howard Springs Tavern, The Rabbit Hole, Palettes of India, Fresh Point Cafe, John John's, Diamond Barbers, District North Kitchen, Wicked Energy, Joyce Main, Next Level Gym, and Bell Accounting. All local businesses supporting us, and we are supporting them, guys. Share the love. And yeah, let's not waste any time. Tell us about the event, David.
So we got an event coming up on the 7th of next month, August. And that's going to be a combination event. This is for the NTEL. This is an NTEL mid-season party. So we've teamed up with GG Social Club. They're, you might have seen those guys over at Geek Fest, but they do board games and anime and cosplay and all that kind of stuff. And they wanted to do an event, so I thought, yeah, let's all put it together. And I already run karaoke at that event as well because they wanted karaoke. So we've all come together for the usual Saturday night shenanigans over at Tracy Village, and we're combining a huge mid-season party. Which is for everyone that's in the NTEL, shoutcasters, competitors, everyone. And, of course, they'll be doing their thing as well. So you can expect like this great event with food, drinks. There's going to be obviously a bar there for 18 plus, 18 plus only on that one, I should mention. But karaoke as well, photo booth, cosplay, board games, video games. It's going to be hectic.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it myself, guys. We spend a lot of time playing our games, trying to get these dubs on NTEL, but it's also a good idea to get out, have some fun, and interact with the community. I think that's a long part. Like, we're so focused in on our teams and our individual game, but trust me, there are some good people out in the community.
Let's meet each other, guys. Yeah. Let's go and socialize. Let's have some fun. I'll be obviously looking after people on the night. Those that come see me, have a chat with me. I'm more than happy to buy you a drink or something, or just, just a way of saying thank you. But there's going to be some awesome fun coming, guys. And I should mention also, and I'll probably mention it in the other one because the game's about to start. There's a FIFA comp. We're looking to get numbers for that, but I will mention that very soon.
Yeah, keep your eyes onto the Next Tier Facebook page. Tons of information going out, tons of opportunities for you guys. But yeah, right now we are focused in on this game between Job Seekers and For Fun. We're just going to do a little thing. Once the game does commence, we're probably just going to sync up our timers, make sure we don't miss any of the early game action, because I'm expecting something to happen out the gate here. Just a hunch.
Okay, on 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
We're pretty synced up right now. If we do desync, just let us know. We'll try to fix that one. But yeah, I'm hoping to see some early game action between the teams. I'm seeing some pings. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, we're definitely going to probably see an invade by this
Every time I see a
Blitzcrank.
Blitzcrank in the game, I'm expecting some shenanigans
Oh,
to
they're
go on.
scattering though. They're scattering. What is going on? The FF team are grouping, and they got 2, 2, and 1.
Yeah. Both
over on
compositions just trying to
KSA.
scat out, drop some wards, see where the
Okay.
enemy team is. It is kind of a big risk to just go all in straight away when the enemy can spread out. But yeah, they're just daring Stairboy to come in. Yeah, they're daring Stairboy to come in.
Oh no, is Blitz gonna go for it?
I don't think so here.
He wants to. He's like, oh, I just want to hook someone.
He's looking around. He doesn't have any clue that they're in there, but yeah, if he comes anywhere near that, Leona might just jump on him. The guy is there to follow up, so he has to be very careful here.
Oh.
It does look like it's going to be a patient start. He might go for a cheeky hook on the blue. Blitzcranks do love to do that every now and then.
And Shortmaster is the cheeky type of player that will try to do that, I reckon. But yeah, it looks like they're going to be playing it safe here. That's good.
Yeah, so nothing crazy. Normally we touch on keystones. Well, there's stuff on the... There's not much to talk about. Keystones are pretty standard basically everywhere there is. I think maybe you'd not see Conqueror that often on Volibear jungle, but he's probably going to have very large extended fights with the amount of tanks on his team. They're looking to drag these fights out with the tanks. Make sure they are tanking up as much as they can here. So I can see Conqueror being a pick. But yeah, it's the same for the side of Team for Fun. Corruption running just Aftershock in the mid lane, wants to be that front line for his team with the Leona. And yeah, I'm hoping to see some early aggressive plays out of this Volibear.
Oh, nice early hook there on Trist.
Yeah, immediately.
Kate doing what she does best, getting that poke on, getting that early damage. Nice work. Oh, and he got another one for good measure there. You see that?
And she's not going to stop. Right now, there's such a big advantage. He can probably keep pushing the envelope there, keep going in for those autos, pressing the advantage onto that Tristana. So nice hook already by Stairboy. Stairboy, I believe, was able to grab that MVP in, I think, week 1 with that Blitzcrank. So he's definitely had a bit of a history onto the pick. But
oh, and he gets another hook. Beautifully done there by Blitz.
Yeah, that currently For Fun's getting the push, but eventually they're going to have to concede some pressure here because the health bars are just not there right now.
Yeah, they got to watch getting hooked at that early because that, oh man, I can tell you that is tilting. Getting hooked and then hooked again, like that's just...
Yeah, after Blitzcrank's on fire, landing on the hooks, it's probably one of the strongest champions in the game there in the bot lane, but once these champions like Tristana gets her jump available, we might see some go wide. But Stairboy right now on fire. You love to see it.
Yeah, Leo, once she hits level 3, we might see such a place from that. Oh, Camille's coming in. Gets the stun onto Nubus.
Going in for a big trade there. Just queues a tiny bit too early for that true damage, and there's a bit of a scuffle here into the river. Looks like Zonox is able to pick up that scuttle. Sipdini gonna have to go to that bottom side scuttle, looking to pick that one up. And yeah, Zonox with a small victory there in the top side river.
Oh, Nubus is in a bit of trouble here. Low on mana, low on health. Oh, yeah. It's a knock up.
Looks like both top laners trading evenly, but unfortunately Cho'Gath is running out of mana. Camille still has half here, so it's looking pretty difficult for him. He does have access to sustain up if he last hits enough minions there with that passive. It's actually quite powerful, but
that one.
Yeah, he needs to start last hitting some and get some advantage here. But
Zonox
Zonox
is
is
coming
here.
in at the top there. No, should be able to escape there. Pretty easy.
Unfortunately, Camille is such a menace in that top lane because of that ability. If it's not on cooldown, it's so difficult to stop this champion getting away from your ganks. So yes.
Yeah, she's got that escape.
A little bit of
hanging around there though.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure being brought there. He's sticking around trying to make sure Nublis isn't going to die here in this lane. So definitely his time being spent to just make sure this top lane is kept safe. You know Camille's thinking about it here.
They want this Camille, man.
He's thinking about it. I think he's going to go for it here.
Oh.
He's holding on to that ability.
Oh, he got the knock up.
Oh, and he stuns the minion. Unfortunately, there was such a big crowd of minions there.
Oh, man. Report that minion.
Yeah, it's minion, just Mr. President. Covers the Camille there. Very clutch to get her out, but honestly, even that hook shot was already fired, I believe. It's really difficult to gank this champion. You see how intelligent Kel'Thas is playing it. He was trading so much with that Cho'Gath, but he never committed that cooldown. He knew that there's a possibility that Volibear was still there, so
it was good that he kept that, no, really well played. Really safe play.
And meanwhile,
we have Echo here.
yeah, he's eyeballing this Malphite in the mid lane, but it looks quite hard to pull off here unless he oversteps for these minions. I don't see that
risky. Oh, look, they're both going in.
Oh, they tried for it. They're gonna get the flash, but not the kill. But still, it's a victory there for Team For Fun. They're gonna push in that wave and look to reset. Chris Strider's probably gonna have to teleport in to pick up those minions.
Yeah, forced to go back there.
Oh, he's not even. He's deciding to stay on such low.
Staying.
And this is something you can still do. It's obviously very risky for many reasons, but if you make the right read, Echo right now, he's reset onto his Raptors. Corruption's just gone back to base. He's actually going to pick it up for free, and he can still go back and teleport afterwards. So he's actually picked up a little bit more gold before he comes back and he teleports in. So it's still
smart play there.
It's a risky play, but it's a play that ends up working out in his favor for sure.
Now we're going to see that Leo get a good engage on the Kate. That would be interesting.
Yeah, and I'm surprised to see how even this game is already. Normally in next to Esports League here for League of Legends, we see teams building slight advantages in the laning phase quite often, but both teams are just dead even here.
Oh, beautifully played there by the Cho'Gath, getting nice damage in onto the...
He has to be careful, yeah, that's why!
You just ate him!
Yeah, you gotta be careful of that Cho'Gath level 6 power spike. This is when this champion really becomes scary, when he gets access to that true damage nuke, and Camille did not respect it in the slightest there. And Cho'Gath is starting to fatten up really early into the game.
And then just went chomp. Oh, she is not happy. She's coming back in.
Oh,
Cho'Gath.
And he gets hit by the tower, which is crucial. And the reason he gets hit by a tower there is because he's bought Bramble Vest. He didn't really factor that in. Normally, you can just ignore champions well away at the tower. You're not going to take aggro. But there, because of his itemization, he takes aggro and he dies for it.
It's unfortunate for Nubis because he needed that upper hand on Camille, but now Camille's just sort of evened it out there. So
yeah, 100%. That's a big pickup. He's actually got the experienced lead. We can see here he's level 7 to Nubis level 6. So immediately
the ult in from
back.
Chris Strider.
Oh, and he's going to pick up the kill.
He's going to get the double.
Simdini does have ultimate.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah, that was really well played from Chris trying to get out on that sliver of health. You saw there that Corruption had flash, but he didn't quite get it off in time. The Malphite ult lands true, gets him under tower, and it just is enough to take down that Galio early on into the game, who is just not tanky enough.
Yeah, not tanky enough yet. So yeah, a little bit of a lead by this JSA team.
And yeah, we're seeing the lost chapter out of Galio. Normally, Galio itemization is more along the lines of Rocket Belt. They do want to go for that sort of bursty build, but definitely the mana in the laning phase helps out here. Yeah. But it is going to put him onto an item you don't normally go on Galio. Everfrost has lots of utility. I could definitely see that working, or even the Liandry's just for that little bit of poke with your Q does help out a lot, especially into these tanky champs.
Number 1 item on TF, that one, Everfrost, love it.
Yeah, just this gold card Everfrost combo is...
Speaking of which, I'm yet to see a TF played in this season. Come on, guys, what is going on? Not that bad.
He isn't that bad, but yeah, it takes a level of coordination with your team, because these champions like TF are so strong in solo queue where it's very chaotic, right? You can just walk out of lane, TP bot, no one's saying anything, and no one's pinging.
Oh, it's a gamble, bro.
Yeah, but
it is a gamble playing TF.
In this elo, it's pretty easy to coordinate just where the mid laner is, where the jungler is, and play around it. So I think that's a big reason, but definitely still underrated. It's played at the professional level quite often. I wouldn't say often anymore after some recent nerfs, but yeah, he's still definitely
not giving TF much love at all, I don't think. I'm very unhappy about that. They're buffing every other champ but TF.
Yeah, definitely. Some other mid laners this patch too. I'm expected to see a lot of mages come back. Cassio, which we haven't seen, and Yonks has gotten quite a decent buff to her damage. 10 damage on her most used ability is just going to stack up to so much over the course of the game. And Syndra also, we haven't seen much of her, and she's copped a pretty decent early game buff this patch. So I'm expecting to see a bit more mage play, because we have seen a lot of melees in the mid in this tournament.
Good to see Lux finally be used more in the mid lane. I think we're starting to see that as well. She's always been, she got play anyway.
That was a champion I used to play back in Season 1 and Season 2 of NT Sports. It was quite the old pick, but I did love it back in the day. Unfortunately, it has fallen off quite a bit, but Yeah, definitely do like to see some unorthodox picks, you know, like that. Picked up. Right now, this game is still so even if you look at the gold there. It's these
vision
guys,
at bot lane as well. Both of them warding there very nicely.
These guys are just looking for their opportunities, but unfortunately, For Fun has not been playing around their objectives well enough that at least they haven't fallen too far behind in gold, but that might change with a sudden Rift Herald play. It could blow the game right open for one lane, but no, huge hook. But unfortunately, doesn't knock up in time. Greedo gets the rocket jump out of there to safety, and I believe if he was able to cancel that or do it before the jump came out, it might have led to a kill with a Caitlyn trap following. But either way, beautiful trade. See, look at the Caitlyn damage right now.
That is crazy.
That is definitely the buff damage onto the Q. You can see it chunking down just ever so slightly more, and it is quite significant right now in this lane.
Yeah, one thing I am noticing in this, and is well respected, is the vision control that these guys have. They're clearing, they're placing the wards. That's something I do not see in solo queue that much.
Yeah,
usually people just place their wards like just willy-nilly.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it.
Especially after laning phase, you see some of these guys get out of lane. But hold that thought, Corruption is TPing into the bot lane. Beautiful double taunt, and the TP from Jobseekers is quite late, but he's going to commit to it anyway. He has old Greedo, has the flash, gets out of there, has the heal, and he's going to get kited out. Kristrada has nothing left to go. He's running to the hills, getting out of there. Corruption, holding the line, just got to tell him to back off here. But Simpdini is off on the side here. They have to be careful. Stairboy caught alone right here.
Oh, he's in trouble.
And here comes the Galio ult. They're going to commit really hard. There's nothing Stairboy can do.
That's a 4-man bot.
And this
is insane. They took out the Kate. That's what they wanted to do.
Yeah, and you were talking about this in the pre-game. Teamwork makes the dream work there, and the teleport was just so much more coordinated with his team there for Corruption. Jobseekers were slightly off. You saw the teleport from Malphite just slightly delayed, but give them an inch, they will take a mile here. League of Legends.
No, Kate's in trouble here. She's in a bad position.
Yeah, and Echo still has that ult. Still 4 players. And yeah, again, just the team gap there. 4 players versus 1. You cannot be caught into that position there. Shortmaster has probably just wants to get back into that lane, fire back.
Oh, is he going to get her? Oh, he pulls her in. Beautiful pull.
Yeah, definitely a beautiful pull. And a crucial turnaround to keep this game just slightly even here. For Fun finally throws the first punch, opens this game a little bit, but Stairboy able to pick something out on the exit there. Very crucial.
Yeah, a bit late on the communication there. If Nooblis came in a bit quicker, I think that would have been a little bit different, that one.
Oh, they're going for this Camille again. She has flash, she has the hook shot, so she's going to get out of this quite easily.
They're going for it, they're committing.
They're committing so hard, but look at these champions trying to catch up to the Camille. They can't do it. Volibear doesn't have the Q available. Oh, Nooblis lands it. He doesn't have the feast, though. He's using it on a minion.
Oh, no. Unfortunate.
Cheeky hook in the mid. Cheeky hook in the mid, looking to capitalize onto that Galio, but not going to find it there. Just going to push out, and yeah, this is not really what you want to see. They are trading onto the top side right now, so very good to see that play. Big hook here, but he has the ult available. He's not going to get to use it. Kristrada denies it with the unstoppable force, taking him down there. And yeah, they're firing back. Kristrada's playing very patiently around his team, looking for those ult opportunities. We see that the biggest counter to Malphite is the flash button. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to find that big ultimate into the bot lane onto that Tristana. But if he's set up by his team, they don't really have an opportunity. If Blitzcrank lands the hook, he's just going to secure that Malphite ult is going to land, and it's going to do so much damage with his build.
Yeah, wow, we're seeing some It's now even again.
Yeah, that top lane play was crucial. They pick up the first tower, the Rift Herald. They didn't have any teleports come through, and Jobseekers fires back pretty hard onto the top side. And not only that, they also pick off the enemy jungler in the bot side, so they end up winning on both sides of the map. Hold that thought though. Corruption getting caught out a little bit here. He's trying to set up his team, but he's not. His team wasn't there yet, so he ends up going down. And that Caitlyn trap to deny any further engage from the Camille there. Jobseekers is just having a second win here. They've decided to just play together, and they're playing so well. Corruption playing alone there, a bit too early in front of his team, gets caught out and punished accordingly. And now we're seeing Jobseekers threaten this dragon, and they have the first dragon. Dragon Soul is going to be a pivotal objective in such an even game like this. If you're able to secure that Dragon Soul, it blows the game right open. Job Seekers looking to pick that one up earlier here, and the coordination for the feast, of course.
Oh no, bit of a misplay there, Leo, with that ult.
Oh,
And a nice hook there.
Chris Strider.
Camille's out of position.
Now, their tanks are separated for the rest of the team. Camille's trying to fight for her life as much as she can.
Oh, Kate gets 2 kills then, does she? Yes, she got a double kill. She needed that.
Yeah, that was crucial for them. They were able to pick off the Leona in the front line, and they were able to pick off that Camille that was picked off by the Blitzcrank and the Malphite combo again. Like I said before, if Blitzcrank's setting up your Malphite, there's no way to dodge that ult. Chris Ryder drops it. He maybe could have found a bigger one in the team fight, but like we were talking about there, you need the follow-up as these tanks. There was really no follow-up, so he just goes for the ultimate onto that Camille, takes her down, and Shortmaster is playing well enough to just pick up a little freebie on the side onto that Leona on that team fight. So definitely well played from Job Seekers. They trade evenly and they get the dragon as a bonus. And look at them, 2 out of 4 dragons now onto the side of Job Seekers.
And the ADC stayed alive. Caitlyn did what she had to do and stayed alive there. If she was taken out early, then that would have set them even further back, which is not what they wanted. So
yeah,
good play.
Caitlyn's decided to go the Gale Force this game. You can definitely see it with the amount of dive onto that side of the comp. I just hope she has the damage to follow it up here because, yeah, they are stacking a lot of resistances in the future. I imagine with that Leona, this Galio, I imagine is going to build tank next. Camille is quite bruiserish, and unfortunately, Corruption's caught out again here. Job Seeker's all converging. His top lane is there, but he can't do anything.
Aiden.
And we see Cho'Gath already 8 stacks on his feast this early into the game.
Oh, nicely played there by Kate with the net.
Yeah, ends up dodging out onto that Leona. Oh, that was off screen, but I definitely see the cooldowns there. That's definitely what happened. Shortmaster caught out now. Doesn't have that net because she used it before. But Chris Strider with a turnaround. 3-man gets the turnaround. They're stepping on traps too. Can she get an auto attack range? Not quite. And Dini barely makes it out with his life, but
wow.
If I'm not mistaken, they picked up the Rift Herald off the side of that play as well, and Team for Fun are just not playing coordinated enough in this game here. They're getting caught out left, right, and center. Corruption being the front line.
Boy. On point with these pulls and hooks, man. Like, these are just... And Malphite hitting the ult where it matters.
Yeah, and Simdini needs to be careful. He has no ult available there. Corruption is going to bail him out, but again, look how well Job Seekers is just playing so well as a team. And they're not stopping there. They have to be careful of pushing this too hard. Look at For Fun.
Oh, but Cho's really tanky. He's eating
he just takes down Simdini, tanking 4 champions and a tower, kills the jungler and gets out.
He was just tanking that tower, man. Just not giving a heck about anything.
And the worst part is he's not even out of it. He's got the Warmogs, he's got red buff, he's full health now after just tanking 4 champions and a tower. They're not going to stop there, they're going to keep going.
Yeah. Throw that Rift Herald down, take that. Blitz getting crazy with his pulls now, he's just like YOLO.
Yeah, he's looking for the big plays. They're looking to push this advantage so hard, but right now they've blown the game wide open. 4,000 gold almost lead there, and this Cho'Gath is so huge.
So they really need to, strategize and come together now, this FF team.
Now they don't have a very bad composition to do it. They have line injuries on Galio, they have the Kraken Slayer, they've got Divine Sundra, but that said, all these champions do have to be hitting that Cho'Gath. If it's just these champions by themselves, I don't think anyone's taking him down. With a little bit of team fight prowess, they might be able to do it, but they've got so much other threats to worry about here. Malphite with that huge unstoppable force into that mid lane. We can see just exactly what Malphite can do if he lands the right ultimate in a team fight, completely turning things around there. And they've still got other champions like Blitzcrank and the Volibear to worry about. And this Blitzcrank is going AP, so you can't ignore this dude too.
Well, so is Malphite, mind you. He's full AP by the looks of it, with a little bit of MR.
Oh, watch out there, boy. He might walk into the death bush that For Fun are setting up for him here, but they're resorting to these tactics.
Oh, Cho's a bit out of position here.
Yeah, it is Cho'Gath though. So tanky.
He's gonna be hard to kill. He's hard to kill. Yeah, he's got his Warmogs.
Chris Strider split pushing with that teleport available. They know exactly what they're doing here. Look at the waves in all lanes here for
trying
fun.
to bait the dragon.
For fun, are just getting pushed back, but they still insist on playing up like this, and this is what happens when you're splitting focus for the waves into...
Stairboy holding onto his grab, his pull.
Simdini ends up blowing the ultimate there. Chris Strider maybe has an angle here, but doesn't matter. Stairboy has a better angle. He ends up picking off that Leona. Stairboy finding so many crucial hooks this game.
Very nicely, yeah.
And this is huge. Another stack onto the Cho'Gath here.
Oh.
And look at them, 1 point away from Soul Point there. And can you imagine this sort of team with the Mountain Soul? This Cho'Gath, it just does not need the extra resistances and the big shield on top of that. But it just might get out of hand here for Team Full Fun.
Oh, that was so close.
The entire team is going to have the Malphite passive, and you already have a Malphite. He's going to have double Malphite passive with that Mountain Soul. He's going to have a big shield to complement his crazy amount of AP that he's already stacking. I'm going to just hover over onto that Cho'Gath. We'll see the stacks he's sitting on 11, and this Cho'Gath is not really considered a late game champion, but if he hits that level 16, he ends up picking up just upwards of 1,000 bonus health. The rank, as soon as you put a point into that, you end up getting, I believe, around 80 bonus health from rank 2 to rank 3. Somewhere around there, and on the amount of stacks he's sitting on, it gives you a crazy amount of bonus health. So this champion can actually power spike pretty hard. And right now it's looking pretty good for him if he's able to just sit away into that side lane, farm it up, play around these objectives like the Dragon and Baron, just stall it. I don't think they have much chance to come back. In the meantime, he's still ulting minions and monsters. Did that give him a stack? It did. He's currently at, let's calculate, quick maths. Yeah, six monsters and minions have been devoured, so he can't do that anymore, but definitely if he finds any more angles into the team fights, definitely looking to keep stacking and building up that size. Can't wait till he builds that Frozen Fist item, because then he's going to be even larger if he does go it, and he sure does. Frostfire Gauntlet completed. Let's have a look over at this biggest.
Oh, he's huge, man.
He's already as big as the towers. You got to be careful of this dinosaur. And yeah, he's not as big, but Chris Strider definitely has to be watched in these team fights right now. I believe he's going towards that Cosmic Drive. He's going to get an even shorter cooldown onto that Unstoppable Force. He's going to be pumping them out in the team fights, looking for those carries that are the only ones that can really deal with this Cho'Gath is something like that Tristana if she's able to free hit, but just having to worry about that Malphite ult being dropped at you the whole team fight is so stressful and hard to play around. It's looking pretty rough here for the side of Full Fun. We'll see whether they're able to make the comeback. They definitely got to make a last-ditch effort at one of these objectives. Just try and get as strong as you can before those objectives come through. And maybe you find a miracle team fight, find your way back into this game. But right now, looking very, very difficult. I wonder what...
Sorry about that, I lost my headset for a second.
No problem. We're just currently playing Farmville. Both teams just stalling out for that objective here. So, I do think we should be seeing...
Oh, shows bot lane.
Do you think
he's got no fear?
Yeah, he's just taking the Tristana for days there. Like, he's got to be careful that Tristana does find herself knocked up. If that Cho'Gath gets anywhere near you, you're probably going to get burned down in a couple seconds and eaten alive on top of it. Tristana looking very small in comparison to that dinosaur. And look at all that damage she's just found onto Nublis. Is just immediately healed up by the Warmog. He doesn't care that he's tanking aggro. It's probably better that he tanks.
Oh, hits with the...
The Caitlyn's caught out here. Shortmaster gets caught out. The big Galio ult to separate the team. Corruption frontlining so well. They're just playing this team fight so well. For Fun finds the miracle team fight, but there's no objective to take here. Unfortunately, they take the gold.
They caught them by surprise then, I think.
Yeah, it was a 4v5, and not to mention a tower assisting the whole time. That was a beautiful Galio ultimate to split the team fight there. It was essential to get them that victory, and they weren't able to find any crazy Malphite ultimates. They weren't able to find any crazy blitzcrank hooks. You can see that Full Fun's
drag is coming up as well.
Yeah, definitely they have to prepare for that. They are gonna respawn in time, but we have some crucial ultimates down for the side of For Fun here. I don't think they're gonna have access to Galio ult. Don't think they're gonna have access to that Camille ult. And on the side of Job Seekers, they're gonna have everything available to them. So I think we're gonna have to see some clutch plays out of the side of For Fun for this upcoming fight.
Oh,
Tristana,
yeah, this is going to be a battle at Dragon, man. This is going to be huge.
Tristana almost has to flash that Malphite ult. I'd be crazy. You'd be crazy to think that Tristana is going to be ulting anyone else unless they're crazy out of position here. That Tristana has a target on her back here, so has to be very careful about what Tristana is able to do to her. Nubis, no fear. He was caught out there, but still into this 5v5 scenario, you can play so far forward.
Ults are ready.
They're playing around their vision. Stairboy doesn't see anyone here. He can't go for a crazy hook. Doesn't have flash available. He's looking for his angle.
Oh, the Echo with the engage. Oh, he gets the hook on Galio. Probably not the best choice.
Yeah, they're starting the dragon. It's almost taken down here.
Black line. I said black line, not black line then. My bad.
And the team fight is just spiraling out of control here, front to back on both sides. Just trying to find her angles here, trying to burn down those tanks, but can't quite do it. They're gonna split off here. Camille going for the chase away here. Oh my god, so far down. I don't know where this directed camera's taking me, but
so that's 2 for 1.
Yeah,
I don't know how more people didn't die then.
It's still a victory for the side of Job Seekers there because they picked up the dragon amongst it all, and we see just how tanky that Cho'Gath is with that sort of resistances on top here. We go over, we look at him, 13 stacks here.
Oh, the hook!
Oh, what is
Splits with the hook again.
He finds a hook onto the top side of Leona.
Yeah.
Maybe caught out. Nublis is going to chase this down here, but the team is on the way trying to bail her out, surely. If he
he's going for it, he's going for it!
One more hook, he gets it. Doesn't have the damage Nublis. Oh, he does. The AP Blitzcrank ult absolutely demolishes her. Tristana has to be careful of that. Cho'Gath feast, probably doing half her health at this point in the game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was
that's an exciting hook, man.
And right now, it's just the calm before the storm. I'm thinking Job Seekers are going to eye up that Baron now. They are so tanky with that Mount Soul. They can take 0 damage from this objective, so they just need to bait For Fun in to that side of the map, take them down, play it right, pick up the Baron, and look to end. Yeah. Pretty textbook way to end. They have the tools to do it. It's just all about the execution here.
That objective control, though, 4 dragons to 0. That's really well played by Job Seekers.
Yeah, and we really shouldn't have seen it be that easy for them right now. For Fun, we're conceding a lot of them. They didn't even put up any fights early on for those objectives. So I'm quite surprised by their passive early play. Definitely had the composition to go in, find some picks, make some dives happen, but they played it pretty chill in the early game, and it might end up hurting them here as Job Seekers have found themselves quite an early Dragon Soul. It helps so much picking up those early Barons here, and Job Seekers are eyeing it up completely.
Ooh, Galio's backings. This might be a chance for them. Will they start the Baron, or will they bait them in?
They have the TP available for Galio. He could look for a flanking angle with that teleport even, but I'm just looking for that.
They're going to go for it. Yeah, they're going to go for it.
They have the
Cho'Gath. Oh, this will be interesting.
It's quite a strong Baron comp. We see how little they're taking, and Blitzcrank can pull you in if you're not careful. That's a huge hook. Galio is going to drop the ult, but it's too little too late. Camille is down there. And right now...
and the miss by Leo.
And they can't do anything.
Oh, no.
Chris Strider flashes in for that ult onto the front line. They're going to burn them down eventually. And look at Stairboy. He finds another hook. Burns Greedo's flash there. And they're going to turn right back onto that Baron because look at these tanks. They haven't taken any damage in the slightest. It's all on Simdini. Can he find a Miracle Steal to just prolong this game here? Because right now, I don't see any other way.
It's going to be a Miracle Steal if he can get this.
He's looking for the angle.
I think he's blind at the moment. I think he's blind.
He has no vision. Oh, he's not blind anymore, but he is dead as he gets taken down.
Alive.
Nubis picks up that dragon here, and what a strong team fight there from Job Seekers. They find the early hook, decided it all off. They kite it out accordingly. Kite out the Galio ult.
They knew it. Yeah, they had the confidence there.
And then as soon as they make a mistake, the front line gets knocked up. Chris Strider on top of that just doubles down. They burn down that team. And yeah, Stairboy has just been playing out of his mind this game. He started off that fight with a hook and he ended it with a hook, just forcing that AD carry flash there. It's
like he knows exactly when his cooldown's coming up and able to hit that hook and times it. Because a lot of people throw out the hook, they just like spam Q, right? He's like waiting for the best opportunity, then gets that hook. Very well played.
Yeah, and he's never getting punished for it either. He's got this AP build, which is quite squishy. Now that he has the Mountain Soul, not as much, but if he does make an error in his positioning, it can quite easily be turned on him if the Leona finds an ultimate. He can be locked down and killed if he's not careful, but look at him go right here, going for the Everfrost play. Oh, he finds another one, but
under the tower.
That's just
he paid for that one.
Exactly the issue I was talking about. You're not tanky enough if people do turn around onto you. His team wasn't there to find a full follow-up onto the Leona, and he
look at Volley's sneaking up mid.
Yeah, they are.
It's just like, yeah, you guys do that, I'll just get the objective.
Yeah, the Volley Bear being the split pusher is an interesting one, but there isn't too many great split pushes onto the side of Job Seekers. They're just deciding that Volley Bear is quite slippery. He's going to go on his own into that solo lane, and this Cho'Gath is just going to pave the way for this Caitlyn and this Malphite to just tear down these towers. They're looking for an angle here. Kelthala's going in, finds it onto Chris Strider. They're burning down Nublis. He's slowly going down.
Oh,
he does go down.
Oh my goodness.
They take this team fight, but I don't think Job Seekers is too stressed because we look at Volleybear into the top side here.
Yeah, Volley's got it. Keep him occupied. That's all you need to do.
Caitlyn is just hiding them out here, doesn't get taken down, and Volleybear's actually ulting the towers. He wants to pick up as much as he can here.
Well, good effort by FF for at least like taking him down. But yeah, they just had to deal with that volley there because they just lost an inhib and a tower.
Yeah, it's just that lose-lose scenario when the enemy team's so far ahead. You don't know whether to go for that play and go in for that team fight. When there's a split pusher just running chain on your base in the background, it's quite tilting to be in that position. But at the end of the day, the decision was made. They get the best of a bad situation, you could say, with those kills in the bot lane. But right now, it's all about the Elder Dragon that's just spawned up.
Yeah, I was going to say, if FF can get this by a miracle, man, there's going to see a major throw on JSA, I reckon. If they could take him out. If they can ace them after the Elder, then that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, even if they pick up this Elder Dragon, then I'd say the game's probably like even while they have that buff. It's still they've got a lot of work to do. That Cho'Gath is still such a menace, and this Blitzcrank doesn't stop landing him.
Man,
he's putting up an incredible case for MVP. That's all I'm gonna say. He has just landed hook after hook, especially onto this poor Leona trying to frontline for the team, trying to get those wards down. Is just not able to because the vision gap is there for the side of Job Seekers. Not only has he landed so many hooks, he's also got that crazy vision score, highest in the game, 65 there onto the Blitzcrank.
Wow.
So
I never see that. I never see a vision score that high.
Yeah, Solitude is a different beast.
I think I had a support on my team today, had a vision score of like 2 at like 20 minutes. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it is just incredible how strong vision can be in these competitive games. We see this Leona's trying to fix that, trying to put down the wards, but it's just playing right into the hands of Stairboy here. He's taken full advantage, and he's getting the skill checks. He's landed every one of those hooks, and I think it's a major factor as to why Job Seekers is so far ahead right now.
And the tankiness from Cho too, like he's going pretty good too. 10, 4, and 4.
Yeah, definitely a team effort. We've seen some crazy ultimates from Chris Strider. Of course, Shortmaster isn't flashy, but he's the main damage of this team. He's probably been pumping out a lot of auto attacks in these team fights, just backing them up so well here. I haven't really seen him do too much wrong. But yeah, look at them go for the dive, get the hook, not quite get the kill on Greedo. But Chris Strider has something else to say about it. Eventually picks them off. They're just so tanky here. We're seeing them go in, but just the health bars are not dropping at all. See him. Elder Dragons.
That is it.
Take them down, and yeah, it looks like
that's a GG.
Team Job Seekers ends for fun's little resurgence they had got going on, and yeah, what strong fashion too.
Yeah, JSA pulling out the stocks there. Well played. My game's just frozen for some
Yeah,
reason.
my game froze. I had to leave at the end there.
Oh no. Alright,
So,
well, I'll do the same then.
and yeah, what a game from Job Seekers. Definitely a strong performance from them. We see the team work come through from a little shaky start there. They end up turning it completely around, end up giving for fun. That L, after they're resurging so well, it's got to feel bad for them, but they still have another chance. Later tonight, they are playing another game, so let's see if they can recoup and fix the issues that plagued them in that first game. But I don't know if it was any issues or just Job Seekers doing no wrong there. They were playing it so well. Stairboy landing every one of those hooks. Nublis, monster carry performance in that top lane. Chris Strider landing some decent ult. Zonox just making sure his team, he was set up for success. He was kind of silent, but in that early game, I think he's a huge reason as to why Nublis got that strong, because of that Rift Herald play he made, and just babysitting him a lot in that top lane when he was struggling early on into the game. Definitely helped accelerate Nublis in that lane.
Yeah, damage taken by Nublis as well. I'm looking here, 39,000.
Let's have a look over at that damage taken. Yeah, 39,000. He had the Warmogs too, so that was that was all just healed straight up. He was a monster of a tank there, and we can see in the damage chart he doubled up as their damage dealer apparently, because he's doing the most damage on the team. So yeah,
great damage. Yeah,
incredible performance for him. I think we may as well just segue into the MVP. For Job Seekers here, Nublis put up a great case for himself. Stairboy right up there. Chris Strider not too far behind. And yeah, you could argue every single case. Like I was saying, Zonox definitely set up Nublis for that carry performance. He was getting all the objectives for his team. That's why the early Dragon was secured so well. We saw Shortmaster playing quite safe. Unfortunately, I don't think he's quite in the running here, just because he wasn't able to output an insane amount of damage, and his scoreline doesn't look as clean as the other people. But definitely, I'd say the top candidates for me are Nublis and Stairboy. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Definitely. It's a tricky one because, you know, Stairboy was landing his hooks like on point. Like,
it's just
I'm
in terms of just that X factor, I think Stairboy definitely had it. He landed every hook into those team fights. It was crazy. Normally this ability is just like something you don't really count on in those late game team fights, but he kept making it work. And Nublis was just that consistent rock for his team. Ends up just sitting in front, just dealing out so much damage, tanking so much damage, making it so easy for them to execute, and just setting up Chris Strider for a lot of his big ults there. But I'd say, yeah, just in terms of how difficult it was to pull off what he was pulling off, I'd say Stairboy, honestly, we didn't see him miss much at all. Like, we definitely saw Nublis overstep a little bit there. In fact, Stairboy is even a bit guilty a bit late into that game. He overstepped that one time, but yeah, even Nublis, as tanky as he was, did overstep a little. He did get caught out, but I rarely saw Stairboy miss a hook. He was delivering team fight after team fight there, doing so well for his team. So,
all right. Well, I think we have Stairboy as the winner of the MVP of that one.
Yeah, he gains my vote here. And for the SVP, we look over to the side of For Fun. It's also a tough discussion here. I'd say looking towards that AD carry role, definitely not expecting Tristana to come out with that sort of scoreline after a game like that. It was pretty difficult to keep alive around that like Malphite dive around the huge Cho'Gath, but ends up outputting an okay amount of damage and not dying too frequently. So
not a bad KDA at all. I'd say give that to Tristana, the Greedo.
Yeah. I'm just gonna
based on scores alone there.
I could delve in a bit more, definitely put some more thought into it, but we are running a bit late on schedule here. Our next match is about to commence in 4 minutes, so I guess we just have to just give that one over to Greedo. Definitely was thinking about the jungle there. There was some okay plays from the Echo trying to set back his team. Set his team back up for success there. Corruption also putting out a pretty decent amount of damage despite being the frontline tank. Normally, you don't see Gallows putting out that crazy amount of damage compared to their AD carries, and some of those ults from Corruption were definitely crucial into those team fights. But I think Greedo is going to pick it up this week for fun, and we're going to hop straight into that next lobby here. So, still have a tiny bit of time before we get straight into this next game. 4 minutes, and it's just no break for the side of Job Seekers. They they're coming off that win.
They're warmed up.
Yeah,
They're definitely
straight
warmed up.
into one of the heavy hitters of the tournament. So
Oh man, they need it. They need it against Youngbloods. Youngbloods, one of the veterans of the next tier tournaments that we've been having. So, yeah,
yeah, well,
some OGs in there.
I don't know, guys. This is really anyone's. Like, Job Seekers put out a pretty convincing performance there. You'd probably give it to Youngbloods, but last week they copped their first 2 losses in the same week. It's a pretty difficult week for them. Obviously, GPs and Destiny, no slouch at all, but Job Seekers definitely in contention for those top 4 spots there. So this is really a do or die here for Job Seekers. If they want to secure themselves into that top 4, they got to beat teams like Youngbloods here. Beating teams like For Fun at the bottom of the standings is great and all, but at the end of the day, if you're not able to take out those top teams, you're never going to gain access into that top 4 that gets you into the playoffs here. So this is a big moment for them. We'll see if they're able to pull it off. And Youngbloods aren't as stressed out. Obviously, this game means a lot, but still, they've done pretty well for themselves early on into the season. They're not too stressed, but definitely they have to make a statement here that they are that solid team. They got to be in the top 4. They got to take down Job Seekers here. So excited to see the narrative. Guys, if you're in chat, make sure you just put in your predictions here. Put in your favorite teams. Put in your favorite players, because we're still on the lookout for those giveaways. I'm seeing.
I can actually do that poll. Sorry, I'm not logged into my account to do those polls, but it's alright.
Yeah, I'm seeing tons of interactivity from people already. I want to see even more. This is probably going to be a hype game. Last game was pretty hype, but it just felt like creeping death there. That the objectives were just played so well from Job Seekers that you just slowly but surely saw them that eventually they'll get to that soul. Eventually they're going to take that game. So For Fun had a few moments there that had me on the edge of my seat, but yeah, Job Seekers seemed pretty in control. So I'd like to see a bit more of a back and forth game here between these two teams. We've had some of those games in the past. A lot of them involve Job Seekers, in fact, so they definitely know how to perform under pressure. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, no, this is going to be an exciting game. I have a feeling, though, that I just think Youngbloods are going to win for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, they're definitely the favourites in this, I'd have to say. Even after dropping those games last week, you can't really blame them versus the top teams. They've definitely given Job Seekers some trouble in the past, I believe. In order to get top 4, they actually knocked Job Seekers out of contentions for last year's playoffs. So last season, that definitely...
rivalry.
A little bit of rivalry definitely hurt Job Seekers here, and I definitely have to say, like, if they're going to be looking to beat a team again this year, get their revenge, it had to be Youngbloods here. So
yeah, well,
we'll see
if Job Seekers do win this, they will go. They will. I think they'll tie Corona Spaceship for 4th place.
Yeah.
I think, based on what I'm seeing on the ladder. So.
Yeah, it's definitely an important match here. I'd like to see a well-fought game from both teams. Youngbloods didn't really put up much of a fight versus the likes of GPs and Destiny. We'll see if they can bring it back versus the team Job Seekers. Hopefully we're into the match very soon, but you got to give Job Seekers a little bit of a break before their next matchup. Looks like they are ready. We're about to hop into Champ Select.
Here we go.
I got to switch over those logos onto the thing, so just give me a moment, guys. That won't take too long at all.
Right, so first band there picking out, yes, Renekton is gone. That's a targeted pick from Chris Strider.
Yeah, it's expected. Chris probably doesn't expect to get these
the
picks.
Renekton main.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing Set might get banned as well. I think Noobless is a Set main.
Yeah, Noobless definitely favors that Set a lot. It's in his little flavor text or whatever there. He says it's time to set this up. A little bit of a pun. He's a big fan of the champion.
Yeah, Set's such a cool character too.
Alright, hopefully I've got the right sides here, and they've had a little bit of a swap out into the jungle there. Zonox maybe had to go make dinner or something. They've decided to swap in Sergeant Crone, which is one of their less played players in the season. I believe he's their sub, but I think Zonix has gotten a lot more playtime than him, so it's interesting to see that decision versus one of the top teams as Youngbloods, but we'll see if they've got a plan in place. I find it pretty crazy that Rek'Sai isn't banned, finally gets taken away, because Sergeant Crone, if you let him have that Rek'Sai, he is going to probably destroy you for it. It's just as bad as if you let Chris Strider get onto his main champions as Diana's Renekton. He's going to be super comfortable, he's going to know his limits, he's going to punish you if you give him that pick, and it's the exact same if you give Dark Knight Zoe.
Annoying Zoe. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so he ends up getting taken away, and we end up first picking Alistar here, which is pretty interesting. We don't see the champion too much, and it's not it's not a very flexible champion at all. So they basically know that Alistar's going into the bot lane, and they can pick accordingly here.
Going for that headbutt knock up. Engage by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's definitely a strong combo if you pair it with some of those more aggressive champions. The all-in is really hard to play around, but yeah, Short Master instead.
He got his blitz. He got his blitz again.
They don't care. They don't care if he picks the Blitzcrank. They walked right into it. They're going to pick the Alistar. They're going to bring the fight to him.
Ooh. Are we going to see a Teemo? Are we going to see a Teemo? Oh, they trolled.
I don't think so. Unfortunately, I haven't been seeing that many spicy picks up here. A lot of the teams aren't in the...
Oh man, that's what I would do. I'd just play for the memes.
Yeah, definitely some missed opportunities. I think there's a bunch of sleeper picks that people aren't picking up on just yet. You know, it's not even entirely meme, but yeah, definitely some missed opportunities. There's been a lot of Nasus top laners, and something like the Teemo isn't even incredibly bad into that matchup. You can really punish that Nasus early game and stop him from stacking up, give him a big headache. But people falling away from that champion, it's probably not as good in competitive play with the vision control being a lot better.
All you'd have to do is just gank Teemo and just get him behind, and then he's useless.
Yeah, he's just
which is what happened to me.
And looks like Chris Strider, it's not only is he going to get bans thrown at him, he's going to get his Malphite taken away, another option taken away from him here. And I can only imagine he goes towards that Ahri, but if he doesn't pick it here, he might see it banned in the next phase, so he has to be careful. This is a big moment for Chris in the mid lane. I'm just on the edge of my seat waiting for this next pick for Job Seekers. They're probably discussing it heavily, and it's going to be the Ornn. Oh no, not the Ornn, the Cho back. They're just picking the same draft pretty much. They had comfort picks for themselves. They had great success on it. Why not run it back
except for the Malphite, of course.
Yeah.
I'd really like to see a Ziggs.
Yeah, Ziggs.
Yeah,
definitely
he's had a buff recently.
One of my favorite champions. Unfortunately, recently, straight after they buffed him, they nerfed his mana, but it's definitely not a huge nerf. He was still going fine. He's very popular in competitive play into the mid lane, and most importantly, that bot lane is his most popular role, because he just shuts down so many AD carries. His early game is just better. He just pumps out way more damage, and with the right setup, he just pumps out as much damage as your AD carry does.
Yeah. And Nivea would be nice to see as well, a bit more of in mid lane, I think. She's really strong.
Yeah, especially into some of those melee matchups. And Nivea is disgusting. When you run Electrocute on her, she lands a Q on you. You can say goodbye to your health bar because she drops that double damage E. The Electrocute procs, half your health's gone, and yeah, you're left wondering where you went wrong. But this is what I was talking about for Chris Strider. That Ahri is now taken away, and he is left with not many options for his mid lane. Renekton off the table, Diana off the table, and Ahri off the table. So what does he go? Oh, Malphite off the table. What does he choose? He has gone to Fizz in the past, but he might have to bust something out new completely here if the Fizz isn't a good fit for the composition. Which right now it's looking pretty poor into an Alistar, into a Zinzao, and a Malphite. It's not really good champions to pick a Fizz into.
Oh, the Lilia.
And
interesting.
I really am excited for this pick because it has been changed quite a lot recently. They changed to professional prowess, but I think at a casual level she's much easier. She's got a heal in her kit now, so she's just absolutely tearing apart the jungle, not giving too much care about her health. Before she had to kite out the camps really well to stay full health, but now she's getting the heal. But oh my god, we are seeing
they're going for the knock-up yes comp. The knock-up yes comp is happening. Oh, there's a Ziggs!
The Ziggs, like you called, is being hovered here. Are they going to go all the way? It is quite good follow-up with a bunch of knock-ups on the team. Everyone's going to be standing in front of him. He's able to just lob bombs out and get the damage down. That's exactly what they need here. Definitely some magic damage is required for that mid lane. But who knows? We don't even know.
Yeah, alley going in, knock up, mouth, boom, boom, explosions, then a big nuke bomb to finish him.
Yeah, man, it is
Whoa.
locked in, and at the very end of the day, even if all else fails, Yasuo has another knock up onto that Ziggs. It's so easy to land that satchel charge, and Yasuo can just go straight off of it. So
Knock-ups for days, man.
this is quite the Yasuo comp. I think it's going into the bot lane. There's going to be an Alistar Yasuo bot lane, and yeah, what a comp.
Silas. Interesting.
Yes, this is quite a good pick into the composition of the side of Youngbloods here. If he's not able to get knocked up in those team fights, he's able to run train. But
Silas
we'll
top.
see. We'll see.
Oh no, Silas mid, yeah.
Chris Strider hasn't been seen playing these champions often, so we've got to see what he can do. Busting out the Silas right now is quite a good pick. You've got lots of good ultimates onto the side of Youngbloods there, so if he's going to perform on the Silas, it has to be this game. You have the Alistar ult, you have so many ultimates like the Malphite ult available to you. This is a monster Silas pick, and if he knows how to pilot this champion, it'll just pay off dividends here. But
this is going to be such an interesting matchup. Wow.
We have to see if he's able to perform here. But yeah, until then, we're left wondering right now. I'd say the comps are pretty even. If Youngbloods get an early lead with this composition, I think it's going to be so hard to come back. Yasuo is enabled so well by this composition. But if they play well around to this cheesy bot lane, if Blitzcrank and Caitlyn just play stock standard, they just bully out those melees, then we might see a big advantage built there. But still got 3 minutes before the game. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to head us over to the sponsors here to just give them a quick shout out. Transition right over. Our major sponsors for the season: Territory Zone, Paul's Ice Coffee, Northern Territory Government, and McDonald's Darwin. All the major sponsors giving us so much funding for our season, giving us so many extra goodies like Paul's Ice Coffee, Macca's vouchers, which you can find yourself winning in a moment here. Later on in the stream, we might do the poll. I'd say after this game might be a good time. So make sure you guys are sticking around in chat. Make sure you're voting which team you want to win. Who's the player to watch? Tell me everything, guys. Interact with us, because I sure love to see some chat interactivity. I know I don't comment onto it. I'm often focused into the game, but yeah, I do love reading down into those comments and seeing what people are thinking.
I'll put a poll up right now, actually. I'm going to put a poll up.
So yeah, other than that, we got our minor sponsors to shout out here. Let's quickly transition over to them. So thank you to our minor sponsors, being the following: Next Tier Entertainment, Serotonic Beauty, VR Gamers, Gaming Creations, Tracy Village Social and Sports Club, Hasbrings Tavern, The Rabbit Hole, Palace of India, Fresh Point Cafe, John John's, Diamond Barbers, District North Kitchen, Wicked Energy, Joyce Main, Next Level Gym, and Bell Accounting, all supporting us here. And yeah, even though they're minor sponsors, that doesn't mean they don't deserve as much love as any other sponsor here for us. So make sure you guys are supporting them. And
that's it.
Yeah, share the love around, because yeah, even though they're minor sponsors, they still help us out. Tracy Village hooking us up really well. Of course, Next Year Entertainment is just just our sister company here, so it's
phenomenal business, Howard.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to say also, we do have 3 of these minor sponsors teaming up to deliver our first ever FIFA comp. So if anyone here does play FIFA, we got a $1,000 prize pool. We're trying to get players for it. So if you do want to register for it, head over to our Facebook page, check out the links, and register for that, because that's going to be awesome. Giving away gym memberships, we're giving away burger meals and stuff, haircuts, like, it's awesome. So we got 5, we need 5 more. So get your regos in.
Come on, guys. I've heard FIFA players, they all reckon they're the best. They've all beaten their mates, you know. They've absolutely shut them out. 7-0 games, yada yada. I want to see some results. I want to see some FIFA played in Northern Territory Esports League, and then we can suss out who's the best in the Northern Territory. Not just among your mates, guys. Make sure
easy money, guys. Easy money. You guys
make sure you're getting amongst it, because excited to see the debut of FIFA in the Northern Territory, because I've heard lots of whispers about it, lots of people playing it, but no one's actually delivering here. So
a few people are scared, I hear. There's a few people like entering, and they're like, "Oh, nah, this guy's entering." So they're like, "Yeah." But just have a bit of fun, guys. That's what it's all about. That's what these seasons are about. Just have fun. That's the main thing.
This is an opportunity for you to prove yourself.
That's it.
It is an opportunity to show this guy that you aren't just that friend that gets beat up. You know, you can fire back some shots. But yeah, young bloods and job seekers are trying to put that case out for themselves here into this game. They don't want to be that guy who ends up getting kicked down here. They want to rise to the top of the leaderboards. They want to make a statement. And yeah, what a composition to do it with. I'm so excited to keep my eyes on the Silas pick. But yeah, we definitely can't ignore the rest of job seekers. Of course, that Cho'Gath performance last game, monster performance. Stairboy on that Blitzcrank, monster performance.
Yeah, he's definitely a Blitzcrank main.
Yeah.
Definitely a Blitzcrank main. 683,000 points on him.
Yeah, and it showed. I'll just say that. It was a really good performance. Yeah, Youngbloods definitely got to be playing well to not fall victim to those crazy hooks he was landing in the team fights there. But who knows? They've got the tools.
Shield.
Yeah, Yasuo Windwall is going to be a bit of a headache. You probably don't want to pull stuff like the Malphite and the Hellstar, depending on the situation. Yeah. So it might be a bit more difficult for this Blitzcrank. So we'll see if the Mastery ends up helping him out in this difficult situation here. But that said, if he's able to find picks onto the Yasuo or the Ziggs, it's a crazy pick here. So I'm still keeping my eyes on Stairboy. But yeah, definitely looking towards Sergeant Cronin to the jungle on this Lilia pick. Something I don't think we've seen a Lilia in NT Esports yet. And it's definitely a champion that can deliver. If she lands a big sleep in the team fight, you can imagine just the stuff that her team's able to follow up on. Caitlyn can lay a trap, Blitzcrank free hook, Silas can maybe steal Malphite ult, just demolish someone, land a free chain. Cho'Gath can just follow up with all the CC. It's quite a big ability for her team here if she's able to find it.
Alright, looks like we are in. Just make sure we're all synced up.
Yeah, currently not loaded in completely. Just started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. We'll see what the teams decide to do early game. A lot of teams change up their level 1s. Of course, no one wants to be predictable in that early game here, but we'll see what Youngbloods are going to do. It looks like they're heading top side, and Job Seekers are all running bot side here. We might see them miss each other, just handshake into opposite sides of the jungle here. Looks like they are going to run back for a quick ward. Artur doesn't want to get caught sleeping, but right now the rest of his team are just over onto that top side here. Looks like they are going to miss each other. A little bit of a handshake, but the difference is that Youngbloods is going to know this invade is happening once they walk over that ward here. And Job Seekers have no idea where Youngbloods is at all. So they're going to be very concerned here because they might be able to lay a trap with them for them if they're not careful. And there you go. All 5 champions sitting on that ward there. Youngbloods know completely what's up. They're channeling recalls. They're stacking that mid bush, and this is the trap I'm talking about here. They might think they're safe here, so they might just all walk up to that top bush where they're stacking, but looks like they're scattering.
Nah, nothing's gonna happen.
Nothing happens, just some wards traded into the enemy jungles, but I think the ward onto that red buff is
Blitz is hungry for that hook.
Yeah,
he's like, it's been more than a minute since I had a hook.
Yeah, he's riding high off that last game here. He wants to keep proving. He wants to keep picking up MVPs. But yeah, we'll see what they're able to do. This mid lane matchup is pretty volatile here. The Ziggs definitely is no slouch in this matchup. Can push this lane quite easily versus Silas. Doesn't have as good wave clear as that Ziggs, but he has the all-in potential. But speaking of buffs and nerfs, Silas did cop a pretty big nerf this patch to his W there. He's not going to be healing nearly as much as he did before, and to compensate they gave him a little bit more damage on the Q, but it's quite hard to land that Q consistently here, so definitely not as clear cut for that Silas in the mid lane anymore. But that said, still great composition for Silas to play into here. We'll see if he's able to get out of the laning phase. He's going to be a monster in these team fights.
Yeah, a bit of a trade in the top lane going even there, so not really much. But yeah, as you said here, Ziggs definitely pushing up this Silas. Oh, getting some good damage on him as well.
Yeah, he's running the corrupting. He can afford to take some damage, but unfortunately it's looking like a crazy amount here. You really want to be in that position where you can force the all-in as that Silas, and then you can just basically trade your health bars for the enemies. And it usually works out in your favor because he has so much inbuilt healing on that W, but if you're just taking damage for free like this, it can be pretty hard. Ends up landing the chain, goes for that full combo here,
nice,
and we see it here, the all-in, but he's just getting it turned around on him. He ends up flashing away, but he's just going to get picked up by Nictu, and Dark Knight just completely outplays him there. And you got to be careful. That's what I'm talking about. If you're burning your health bar as Silas, you lose a lot of agency in the lane, because once you're not able to all in, this champion doesn't really have much going for him. And Nublis is just pushing Django out of lane. This Cho'Gath has something to say after not picking up that MVP. After not picking up that MVP, he wants to pick it up. He's pushing Django well out of lane. And Stairboy, finally, you are human. You are human.
He was just testing it out. He was just making sure his Q worked.
Yeah, maybe he's just trying to bait out the win wall, some mind games. Yeah, he's just early conditioning from Stairboy. If he baits him into thinking he's not gonna miss the hook, then he won't win wall it, and then that's when he'll land it.
Zin's coming around here. That bot lane nearly got caught out there.
Yeah, Nixu
is coming down. He's coming down.
His early ganks, and they've set him up so well here. Just a beautiful play from Spingding. Double knock up, following up off his Alistar perfectly there. And there was really not too much they could have done except just burn flashes early and get right out of there. But
nice play there by Youngblood.
You do not want to see this Yasuo taken off early. Normally, Caitlyn is able to just control this lane with her range early on. But right now, they're already running away. She's lost such a huge wave, but they're looking to fire back. Chris Strider may have found Nixu here. No flash available on Nixu. He's trying to build as much health as he possibly can. Sergeant Crone on the pick up there. Oh, so close there for Stairboy, but they're going to go for more Sergeant Crone in the middle of two champions. Stairboy is the target for these.
He's in a bad position.
Sergeant Crone trying to find Artur. Chris Strider not finding the Abscott duck there, and he's going to be running for the hills here. There's too healthy onto the side of Youngbloods.
Not good for JSA. Oh, yes, that's one kill. Can he get the second one? Bit of a skirmish in top that this camera keeps taking me to.
Yeah, it looks like they're more interested onto the wet noodle fight. I think it is quite into the advantage of Cho'Gath because he's just going to farm those minions and just get so much health back, so much mana. So Django has to be careful about these trades because Cho'Gath, if you don't take him out of lane completely, he's going to just heal back up off of these minions. So definitely I'd say in the favor of Nublis there. He's got to be careful. Does have that teleport if things go really wrong, but yeah, it's looking quite good for Nublis here in the top lane, but Django can turn it around. It's not lost. And
looks like he is, but then there's Zin's coming in. Nixu.
Nixu's just all over the map. There's no chance for him. Yeah.
Nice gank again. Nixu's just in the right place at the right time.
You say that, but he just performs over and over in these games. He's definitely probably the most successful jungler when it comes to early game ganks in the tournament. Nixu just finds him building his team lead early on.
Seamlessly just went bot, then just went top.
And he makes it look easy is just the crazy thing about it all. And normally in competitive play, it's really hard to find those ganks as a jungler because your team's coordinating around you. They're tracking you so well. They know where the enemy jungler is and people can play accordingly. But Nixu just does
bit of a desperate dragon here.
Yeah, they're continuing to do it. They have to be careful. Malphite has level 6 here. Malphite is super low though. They don't have access to that huge wombo combo yet. Nixu is caught a bit out. His team has left him for dead here. He's going to smite the dragon for hell, but it's not nearly enough, and they're going to pick this up here.
Yeah, they paid for it. Yeah, like I was saying, it's a bit cocky by Youngbloods there.
Yeah, no, they really wanted to take advantage of that Malphite level 6, but he took a little bit too much damage before the fight even kicked off. The poke coming through for the side of Job Seekers there. They're able to pick that one off, so they're falling a bit behind.
A little bit behind, yeah.
But they do have that dragon to offset the lead just a little, and it's really important when you're playing from behind to have win conditions in your back pocket like that dragon there.
Well, nice engage there by Chris Strider.
Yeah, he wants to
that's something you like to see actually as a mid laner is a Ziggs without mana.
Yeah, it feels a lot better when you're playing with these champions that push you in constantly. Finally, they run out of mana, so you're able to swing back a little, but he does have access to that teleport here, so he's probably just looking to farm up a lost chapter, then teleport back in and just start the pain train all over again.
Just gonna keep Yas at 0 kills, and then you should be all good.
Yeah, just Yasuo definitely not crazy at the moment, but as soon as you get into those team fights, he's just gonna be ulting all over the place. 2-man ults, 3-man ults are just gonna be so easy for him. And yeah, depending on who he ults, it could be potentially team fight ending if they find their way onto short master. It could be quite a swift team fight if they lose that big source of damage.
think this, this team is definitely more formidable than the last team because you could see, you sort of sense a bit of nerves maybe from the JSA team. Yeah, a bit of pressure.
Yeah, I'd say the person feeling the most pressure is definitely Chris Strider in that mid lane right now. He's getting pressured so hard by that Ziggs wave clear that you can see his farm is actually so low at 28 at 8 minutes. Normally you're looking to push upwards of like 80 if you're a pro here, but right
Nice
now
headbutt dodge there.
yeah, that's something not often used. Alistar obviously doesn't have an escape, but if you find yourself in the right situation, you can actually headbutt certain champions and minions to get yourself out of harm's way, and that was
You're like Lee
demonstrated.
Sin.
Yeah. So, beautifully demonstrated by Artur. Still a wet noodle fight, but this wet noodle fight is eventually going to become quite difficult for... Oh, they're going in here. That last breath drop, but unfortunately the tower's right there, so he's not going to find much else. And that's quite the cooldown to burn for just a little bit of poke there. I'd say that's definitely in JSA's favour.
Yeah, definitely. They do know that that's going to be down now, so are they going to get the catch on Yasuo here? Now Ali's coming down. Still the wet noodle fight that you talking about here in top lane. Like, not really much happening.
It's just a game of inches right now. There's not a huge lead, but there's a small XP lead for Cho'Gath and definitely a big farm lead.
Oh, Lilia and Silas coming down.
Yeah, they're looking to make the play. Doesn't have ult onto that Alistar. He's not tanky enough. And the Stairboy ends up picking up that kill. That's probably not the target you want to pick up that kill, but they still take it nonetheless here.
Oh, Ziggs is coming down.
Yeah, we see Chris Strider with the Ziggs ultimate, able to assist his team even though he's nowhere near the position here. They're going for Springding. He finds himself out of position. Luckily, Stairboy doesn't have mana for that hook, otherwise he most certainly would have gone for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you can see it pinging down. Unfortunately, no meta, but yeah, still a positive play nonetheless. Positive play nonetheless. Nubliss just not letting Django breathe, pushing him under tower constantly here. Sergeant Crone holding the mid lane here. This is important that Chris Strider is able to hold on to that TP for potential plays, because look at the vision he has right now in the bot lane. They did make a play onto Caitlyn there and burn her flash off screen, but yeah, having the teleport here is definitely sets up a lot of plays potentially for that bot side. You can push that, even further behind. Oh my god, there's almost a solo kill there, but I don't think Nubliss had the mana for that feast there, otherwise he most certainly would have gone for it.
It's crazy, there's been 6 votes in the poll, and everyone thinks that Youngbloods is going to win.
Oh, and that's definitely going to make it a bit harder for them as Dark Knight finds himself getting taken down 1v1 by Chris Strider. He gets a bit overconfident. Under the tower there, right in front of Chris Strider's face. Not what you want to be doing in that matchup. And he ends up getting taken down, and that's a big turnaround for Chris Strider. He's going to get this push, deny a lot of minions off of Dark Knight, and yeah, get some room to finally breathe on that Silas, who's just been getting pushed in over and over.
Lily is starting the Rift Herald there. Is Cho going to come down and help her?
Chris Strider might be in problem there, but Nixu had unfortunately used his E on the minions there, so he didn't have it to jump onto Chris Strider. So Xin Zhao a bit pitiful if you're not able to use that dash. He has to slowly walk up to you, nowhere near as threatening, but yeah, they're definitely looking to set up this dragon. Artur's already on it. He's got the ultimate, so he's going to be fine here, but he's just given Chris Strider the ultimate too. They're slowly going to burn him down, but yeah, Chris Strider pops the Alistar ultimate, and this is the one scary Silas. He's going to be so tanky. There's so much healing, and they don't have any anti-heal yet. He's
he's out of position there.
Oh, he's getting taken down by Nixu. Finishes off with a flash. And yeah, Nixu's not going to stop here. They're going to keep going. Dark Knight trying to throw it out. Oh, Stairboy finds the hook, but has no knock-up. And they all escape 1 HP. Caitlyn's trying to find her way here, but this is probably not an optimal play, because now she's going to lose out on the bot side here. She looked for an opportunity, maybe. But yeah, that honey fruit.
Do anything to help.
That honey fruit is massive. It's going to give Nixu lots of health so that he can safely take this dragon here, and his team definitely is in a better position to assist him in doing so.
Still a very close game.
Yeah, these top laners are eyeing it up. Chris Strider decides to commit to this. They haven't committed the Cho'Gath
they want this dragon.
He teleports back down in, and he's well out of position. He dodges the Alistar headbutt. That's crucial. Alistar has no ultimate here. He's surely going to go down. They find him here. Does he have to flash? No, he doesn't. But Dark Knight picks off Shortmaster in the mid lane. Just straight up solo kills the AD carry there. Catches him on the rotation. And oh my god, this is just going so back and forth. Like I was saying,
It is, eh?
the lead isn't crazy, but Cho'Gath has found himself a Rift Herald into this top lane here. He can possibly use to push his lead even further versus Django. Yasori has been silently scaled. He's on that mythic now. Cho'Gath has that Warmogs available, so this wet noodle fight is going to be so difficult for the Malphite to win now that Cho'Gath's just going to heal up to full health after every exchange.
Yeah.
But he doesn't take too much damage himself. Has the crafting, he's able to hold that tower. Just got to hold solid here. Try to keep that tower up and just look for those teleport plays in the team fights for his team.
Oh, he's dropping the Rift. Not much mana on Nublis though.
Oh, they're looking for the play, and that's a huge headbutt pulverize onto Sean Master here. They're trying to finish him off, and he ends up picking it up. Dark Knight comes through with the teleport, but he is not needed. Possibly just there to help secure this tower. Springding going in, tanking tower by himself here, but he's completely fine. Oh, the Alistar ult's there. Even if Chris Strider lands it, he's not got the damage there to kill that Alistar. But yeah, a bit of a sloppy dive. Doesn't end up being too bad there. Chris Strider wasn't there in time to pick him off. So definitely had me a bit concerned there for a moment, Youngbloods did, but end up cleanly taking up. Dive in that Blitzcrank, picking up the tower and building their lead even more. And I think if you're at Job Seekers right now, you want to start to get this Cho'Gath involved. He's built himself an okay lead in the top lane here, but you still got to be careful because even though this Malphite's behind, just the way he's able to enable Yasuo in the team fights with his ultimate is just more than enough.
Oh yeah, that ult, man. Sorry, that knock-up's crazy.
This Malphite could be sitting on 0 farm, and if he lands a good ultimate into this team fight, his job is completely done there. He don't even need to tank anything up because Yasuo is going to slay everyone else onto that team. 2-0-2 onto that Yasuo. He's playing slow and steady. He hasn't been super flashy, but yeah, we're definitely going to see him start to ramp up in these team fights. Sergeant Crone on the top side here. They get the slow on him. They're not committing the ultimate just yet. They know Django has access. Oh, the Stair Boy with the hook onto Artur. He has no ultimate, so they might be able to pick him off. Not quite. Ends up escaping. Chris Strider off on the sides. Maybe finds an angle here. He's looking for it, but Nikshu pushing him back. They're just starting to retreat back to the tower here and just try hold it versus the siege. A little bit of an ARAM in the early game. Stairboy not done. He finds Dark Knight. He pulls him in straight into the front line, but the follow-up isn't necessarily there. Chris Strider finds himself in a spot of bother. Doesn't have the tankiness. And Nublis is finally here into that team fight, but he has to be careful because there's still that Malphite. Oh, and he ends up flashing and takes down Nikshu. And this is what we wanted. He's still got access to that ultimate, which is about to come up, but yeah. Yasuo still has access to that ult. Malphite is there to enable him, so they have to be careful overstepping here. They're looking for their opportunity. Still playing off in the side here is Nublis looking for that Yasuo, but gives it away. Now they're surely just going to retreat. Nothing really to be found here.
Damn. Good job by Youngbloods keeping it together there.
Yeah, it was looking pretty bad for a moment, but they end up trading pretty evenly. And yeah, this game hasn't gone out of control too bad just yet. Definitely a scary Yasuo on his side, but Lilia has been silently farming up a storm here. She's doing pretty well for himself, and that Cho'Gath, we saw what he's able to do. Alistar has ultimate available. He's surely not going to go down. Oh, they're looking for another player to Dark Knight, but don't quite find it. Artur has no ultimate here. He has to be careful. Chris Strider second guesses himself. He thinks it's a bad engage, but he doesn't end up landing the E. He's second guessing whether his team's there or not, but right then and there, that Alistar was definitely out of position. Maybe he could have forced a flash.
Kate's coming back.
Yeah, Caitlyn finally has that mythic completed. That Galeforce going to give her a little bit more mobility so that she can get away from that Ziggs, that Yasuo, and that Malphite there. And Xin Zhao definitely diving on top. So much threatening this Caitlyn in this game. It's not too surprising to see her go 0-3. And Stairboy just does not care. He keeps looking for these angles. And Nikshu is going to try punish him for it. Goes all the way in. Sergeant Crone trying to find the trade kill, but unfortunately it's not able to do it, and Artur is not going to stop there. Dark Knight tries to find the knockback, but the Gale Force gets out of our way. But no, Django has the ultimate, doesn't decide to pull the trigger, but Almost picks up
Lead
Short
ahead.
Master. Is he going to die to lane injuries? Not quite. It lives on a sliver of health there. Dark Knight has been very accurate with his bombs so far. They're looking to take down with that satchel charge. Does he get it? Not quite. The tower just barely out of the threshold for that explosion. And Nixu's just setting up another dragon for his team in the meantime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty well played here for the side of Youngblood's side of the objectives. Nooblist is trying to get involved. Sergeant Crone trying to get involved. I'd say those are the players with a slight advantage, if that. Since Zhao's looking pretty big after those kills he's picked up. Oh, that's a beautiful read from Stairboy, catches him, but Django tries to turn it around. They really have...
They get it. Oh, they got him!
Yeah, they
Shut
just get Nixu before they're able to turn
Very
it
nice
around there.
shutdown.
Lots of upfront bursts, but unfortunately ends up getting taken down. Chris Strider almost loses his life, but they're able to clutch it out. But yeah, I'd say if you're Silas here, you're not too threatening. Normally Silas has a lot more damage potential at this point, but he's found himself quite a bit behind, so he's not that survivable anymore after the nerf, and he's not exactly that threatening. He's just a bit of a CC bot there with the Everfrost. So you're looking for Sergeant Crone and Nooblist to make huge plays to try and get the team back into the game. Silas is still going to be a very annoying pick with that Malphite ult and that Alistar ult, but we haven't seen it do too much damage. He's just not threatening enough at this point, being put so far behind. Yeah, Youngbloods are just slowly going to play this out for the Dragons. I imagine that Rift Herald is going to despawn, unfortunately, but Artur maybe gets caught out. Stairboy finally doesn't guess right. Artur jukes him out with the Mobies, getting to safety there. Yeah, Sergeant Crane is actually quite the force to be reckoned with. He's 2 levels up onto Nixu there, even though he's not quite ahead in the gold. He still has quite an XP advantage just farming up a storm. Nooblist frontlining for his Lilia there, but they have to be careful. That Yasuo does not mess around. You're going to see the damage come through, but a beautiful flash Q. He's going to get 3. He's going to get taken down. This Lilia playmaking finally gets taken down. Lilia picks it up, and they turn it around. Look at the healing, though, from Nixu. He's turning around with the Gore Drinker, but Artur is trying to make it out in the slither of health. Chris Strider and Shortmaster on the chase. He's in the bush. He does.
Oh, mistimed Q there, but he got him anyway.
But Nixu on the backside has actually made it out. He's going for the red buff right under Sergeant Crone's nose, but I don't think he can do anything about it. He's too healthy. He's too healthy. Sergeant Crone, Nixu rather, with that Gore Drinker, even though he looked out of the fight completely, able to sustain up and stay in it, gets out with his life, so they don't even pick up that much off of that play. But I keep looking at this gold. It is not changing much at all. In fact, it's slowly creeping back into Jobseeker's favor. The gold is just pretty even this entire game.
See it now.
Yeah, with that tower, Jobseekers are going to take the lead, I think, for the first time this game. Crazy game coming out of these two. It's quite back and forth, but of course Youngbloods with that dragon advantage, you got to give them a slight upper hand despite the gold being even. But yeah, I'd say definitely look out for that Ziggs. He's itemizing towards that rabbit on the second item, which is pretty greedy because it does make you feel pretty weak at this point, but as soon as you complete that rabbit on, he's going to be hurting so badly.
Boy coming in.
Artur just tanks it for him. Oh, they've got to commit to that. Springding loves those ultimates, but he has to be careful now. They're going to try to turn it around. Nooblist flashes in, but unfortunately, Cho'Gath is not that quick. He's going to look for that Ziggs here. If he finds a knock-up, could be huge. He's getting slowly but surely close to him. And, Stairboy goes for the monster hook. Doesn't quite find it. They're going to turn it around onto Nooblist. And, yeah, you got to be careful. That Cho'Gath has no magic resist really built. So the Ziggs is punching straight holes in him. They're just trying to wave her out. They got to be careful because Ziggs can delete your tower just like that. So this Ziggs is playing so ballsy. You see how far forward he's playing into the likes of Blitzcrank, and that Silas doesn't care. Playing well up, but he's going to get punished for it here. Beautiful hook. The flash comes through. Oh, and the Q doesn't connect. The ult from Chris Strider ends up picking it up, and the beautiful Wombo Cobra under the tower. They're going for it, but unfortunately they don't have the damage to finish off the targets here. He tried to ult Spingding, but the wind wall blocks Lilia ult because it still is a projectile.
Wow.
Oh my god, that would have been a huge turnaround, but unfortunately Sergeant Crone not knowledgeable about that interaction. Spingding gets away with his life there. Chris Strider looking to start us off
know
again.
what,
That out of
fixing this
start.
alley.
He has the ultimate available. He's got to be careful of being turned around on. But oh my god, the Feast does not care about your damage reduction. Bing Ding and Nixu trying to turn around. They have a lot of sustain, but their health bars are just too low at this point. They get
in for the
taken down. Nixu trying to escape using that E, but he gets caught by the knock-up. The beautiful flash to dodge the Lilia, but unfortunately I think he's going to get run down here. Another, but the Ziggs is here. The hero. He drops the bomb onto the head and picks up the Lilia. They're finally getting onto Dark Knight. He's trying to survive, but he does. Noodless finally comes through. The Kaylin ult going to get blocked out. And looks like they're setting up for this dragon. They have to be careful. Short master
Unlucky
in the area.
they're playing JSA. Wow.
I don't think JSA can stop this unless teleport comes through, but that...
Oh, what's Stairboy doing? Just did an ult then?
Yeah, Nixu's dying on the backside, and Django whiffs the ultimate onto Short Master. He gets right at the perfect time to dodge out of that Malphite. Stairboy's still frontlining on this AP Blitzcrank, not going down, and they end up just getting them off of that dragon. This game is so back and forth again. Still, even kills almost, even gold. And if they get this dragon's even objectives, they are punching left, right, and center. What a crazy game we are witnessing here. But oh, that's Dark Knight. We see the damage he's able to pump out now that he's got that Rabadons. He just turned around that fight instantly, landing at just a couple skill shots, just ending up chunking the sides of Job Seekers so much. Dark Knight is a force to be reckoned with. And yeah, we see the Yasuo now building that Infinity Edge. He's at such a strong item spike too. He could potentially one-shot some of these carries like Sergeant Crone if he's not careful. Short Master just being a distraction. If Yasuo's in ult range, he would have found that kill, but doesn't quite have that ult in range there to pick up Short Master.
2 dragons each, both at 40k. Wow.
Yeah, this game's going back and forth so much, but yeah, I'd say just despite the scoreline, doesn't look like it. Sergeant Crone has been a key part of these team fights. He's been putting out so much damage onto this Lilia pick we have never seen before, and I'd say paying off dividends. They're looking for an angle here. Unfortunately, can't quite get into range. And we're back to ARAM, it seems. Back to ARAM, back in the mid lane. You can't really blame them. Both teams have such great pick potential that Blitzcrank could find someone at a moment's notice. You've got Malphite Ultimate and Yasuo combination at a moment's notice, and Nixu with the 6th Sense dash just steps back out of that Blitzcrank's range when going for that ward. Beautiful play from him. That could have been pivotal if they picked off Nixu there. Would have blown open the map, but looks like it is just still going to be a bit of an ARAM. Chris Strider with the teleport. Sergeant Crone not too far off. Going for that red buff here, but this is it. They're going to find their angle. They found him out of position.
Oh, no.
Not a huge knock-up.
in.
But the Malphite is looking for an ultimate angle. Does he find it here? Beautiful onto the Caitlyn, into the Blitzcrank. Yasuo's in there. But look at Sergeant Crone trying to turn it around. He flashes forward. He doesn't find the Q. Finally comes through. Lilia's putting out so much damage. Chris Strider comes through with the other side ult. They're turning it around so beautifully.
Oh, they turned it around.
Sergeant Crone is full health, and Dark Knight is out of mana. He's going to be run down here, and they're going to turn it around. Triple kill for Sergeant Crone.
Goodness. That was crazy.
Lilia, you cannot sleep on Lilia, even though she forces you to sleep. You can't sleep on the champion because this champion is putting out so much damage in this team fight. 3,000 damage done by her Liandry's alone, and they've buffed her passive to do more damage. I can guarantee you that the amount of damage this Leah is pulling out in this team fight, even though it doesn't look like much, the burn is doing so much. He's finding 3-man sleeps in these team fights. That's completely turning it around. And yeah, this Yasuo, he has lots of setup, but if you're diving too far for these ultimates, this Lilia is going to punish you for it, and we've seen that time after time. He needs to itemize something like that Quicksilver so that he doesn't get slept and blown up. They're going to try to trade back their jungle here. That the side of Job Seekers just cleaned it. Just claimed that blue side jungle. Nothing left for the side of Youngbloods there. Stairboy, don't you dare go for the 1v1 onto that Yasuo. Oh, he's still going to do it. He doesn't have the damage, but he's going to chunk him out. Sping Ding's probably scared for his life, thinking someone else is there to end it. But yeah, luckily for him, just the solo Blitzcrank. If he had more stacks onto that Medjai's, that Yasuo may have been dead with that ignite. Tua looking to get some revenge for his AD carry. Django has ultimate. He can commit it here. They are going to go for the pick onto this. And they're committing everything for Stairboy. But I don't think it's enough to start Baron. You still have so many champions.
I don't like that blitz.
Strong. They just committed a lot of ultimates just for the support. I still think Job Seekers can easily contest this. And look at that. Nooblis not going to get cheesed out here. Checks with the Q. Doesn't get caught out. Chris Strider starting to find a bit more power after these team fights. Sergeant Crone looking for an angle. So strong here. Highest level in the game is Sergeant Crone as a jungler. Level 15 on that Lilia. So powerful. And yeah, looks like they're continuing to try push back the side of Job Seekers. But Job Seekers have just been playing so well. They're getting pushed in so well. But they're not necessarily losing out too much on the map in the meantime. Youngbloods are playing very aggressive, but it ends up dooming them as they Yasuo ult like under tower here, trying to force these fights out. Job Seekers are playing it very calm and patient, and they're just winning out on these team fights.
Boy. Nice poke there by
Dark
Ziggs.
Knight lands it, but no one's there to follow up. No one's there to follow up. Dark Knight is super chunked here, but he has the teleport to come back into this fight. But still, a bit of miscoordination there. Sergeant Crone doesn't believe in his support to stand nearby looking for those hook opportunities, but then again it could end up being the opposite there. Malphite ult could onto Lilia could be disastrous.
This Lilia is playing really good.
Yeah, Sergeant Crone is just putting out so much damage for his team. Shortmaster is just doesn't have to carry as hard because that Lilia is putting in so much work for him. They find Django here. He might go for the ult, but he might not have the opportunity. He's got silence bumped up, and he tries to ult out, but he's taken down there. And a bit of miss
there.
I think they gave up too much tempo not TPing this Ziggs in. Stairboy might be caught out here. He's trying to find his way onto the blast cone, but gets knocked off by the Ziggs. Ziggs can poke them to hell here with the way they're grouped up around this dragon, so they got to be careful.
Well, he's not going to be able to do much there.
Yeah, all he can do is try and find a big angle for his Yasuo, which they're doing there onto that Nubis. But actually, Yasuo is getting destroyed by the Cho'Gath.
Oh no, Kate's in trouble.
Kate is in trouble. She's surely going to go down to Dark Knight here. Does indeed go down, but yeah, Yasuo is quite low. Cho'Gath had his way with that Yasuo. Oh, and that's a huge thing. That might kill him. Liandry's and the Lilia passive. The heal does save him there. He's going to live to see another day, but he's so low that he might not be able to join this team fight. They're still going to posture around. In fact, no, Job Seekers just decide to concede. Another Lilia ball onto the Yasuo. Is he going to go down? Just survives life stealing. Oh, never mind. The burn is just too powerful.
Yeah.
And Nick Chu getting caught out. If he lands this, surely go for the sleep. Just a one-man sleep onto the Ziggs. Surely is good enough here.
Knock up.
They have the damage. Chris Strider drops the Hextech bomb onto the Ziggs head. The big knock up here, but they don't have damage to follow it up. No damage is there, and Sergeant Crone is just gonna run a train onto these two champions. They don't have enough to take them down. Sergeant Crone playing this so well, double kill, looking for the triple kill, gets head butted back, but Stairboy, never mind, burns the flash, give me that triple kill, and they get another team fight victory. Unfortunately for them, they didn't get the dragon, but they do pick up the Baron here as a pretty nice consolation prize. I don't know if Yasuo is going to be there in time. Stairboy has to tank this up for his jungler so that they can burn this down quickly before the Yasuo gets anywhere near.
Yeah, wow. Very nicely played there by Job Seekers.
Yeah, this is a crazy MVP performance out of Sergeant Crone for sure. You can see just how well he's playing these team fights. He's never getting caught out despite so much pick potential from the enemy team. He's never getting poked out by that Ziggs. He's playing the fights as clean as he needs to, and we can see just how much work that Lilia heal puts in these late games. You can see right now he lands a W and a Q onto that camp, but he's healed over 500 health. It's no joke the amount that this champion can heal now. So I think they should be looking towards itemizing Grievous Wounds, which they haven't got too much of. They've only got Bramble Vests onto the frontliners there. They haven't got any other way to apply Grievous Wounds, and it's essential versus
healing.
Champions like Silas and Lilia, if they're not stopping their healing, they're going to absolutely demolish you for it. And Django
the flash
it out. Very
Didn't
passive
really want to get
flash.
caught there.
Doesn't know where people are. Oh, he's looking for the 1v1. He misses the E on him, but Dark Knight's not even responding, but surely Cristrata picks him up here. If not, Stairboy comes in. The police are on the chase here. He gets the Everfrost slow. He gets the hook, and Cristrata finishes him off there. Nick shoot. Action on the top side takes away the blue buff from Noobless. Noobless not happy about it. Gonna walk back home. Oh my god, this game is going so back and forth, and now Lilia's picked up another big item. Demonic Visage is going to make her so much tankier, and even more damage over time she's going to be putting out. I want to look over at the Liandries again.
350 health. Jeez.
Yeah, this Lilia is crazy strong into this game. His last item is probably going to be that Rabadon. Just cherry on top, just blow her up. Blow up her AP, make her just start one-shotting champions like this Yasuo, which she has an XP advantage over. Yasuo itemizes the Bloodthirsty. I don't think it's good enough. You really want to be itemizing QSS versus Lilia to make sure you don't get put to sleep in one shot, because as soon as you fall asleep, there's really no counterplay for a knock-up or a stun coming through off the side of Job Seekers. Sergeant Crane has to be careful of overstepping his boundaries, though. He is super strong, but like we talk about that pick potential, if Yasuo is ulting onto that Lilia, it could be curtains for that. But Sergeant Crane's been playing it beautifully so far.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do now. There's 23 to 28, 54 to 59 in gold. Yeah, Youngbloods are behind, but
we're going to put on the brakes for a little bit here. Even though we have the Baron, I think it's really all about denying Dragon Soul here. They are quite concerned. Really, if I was in their position, I'd be 5-manning a lane, but even then, you're into a Ziggs. It's pretty hard to wave clear versus that, and your Siege isn't exactly great. You're basically relying on that Blitzcrank to pick someone off, or Caitlyn to just whittle away at those towers. Still is a big concern when you group up into a lane versus the likes of that Malphite. It's one big ultimate, and the team fight could be over from the get-go here, so can see why they're respecting them here, but definitely not as big as a reward as you'd expect from the Baron. Oh, beautiful hook! Stairboy picks off the support again. The supports are just trying to lay down vision, but he ends up having to burn his ult and flash just to get out to safety. But the worst part is when you do that as an Alistar, you give Sylas the ultimate, and look how tanky Sylas is already. If he's able to ult...
another one.
Oh, another one indeed, and he's got nothing left now. Cristrata picks him off. Stairboy just so crazy in these late game fights as this Blitzcrank finding these openings, and yeah, they're going to concede it. They're just going to fight the 4th dragon, it seems. And conceding dragons versus Cho'Gath does not feel good. He's going to get tankier.
Oh, Stairboy's coming in again.
He's looking.
He's cheesing this Dark Knight, man. He's like, come on, Ziggs.
Look at the vision control though. There's not enough sweepers on side. Oh no! And
Chichago's like, what the hell is that?
And this is case in point how Vision can win you games. Like, Stairboy isn't even working hard. They're walking into him, let's be honest. They haven't got the sweepers available. There's so much vision into the side of the
look at that
Youngbloods.
vision, man. That's just...
It's just, like, too easy for Stairboy. He sees them, they don't see him. It's just easy pickings, fish in a barrel. And he's just taking them down over and over, and Youngbloods have to be super coordinated to stop that from happening, or they just need to be on top of their vision.
Bit of a siege
Noobless, yeah, he's quite tanky, but we see that Ziggs can burn him down. The bombs are tickling him a little bit. But yeah, definitely still gonna heal that up with the Warmogs. Cho'Gath forced to be reckoned with. Yeah, they're gonna play it safe here. Put on the brakes again until either that Baron spawns or that Dragon spawns. I don't think we're gonna see much action for the time being. Yeah, this game's getting a bit late game here. Almost 37 minutes in. Oh, they're looking for the play. Cristrata's on the sides, but so is Artur. They're collapsing in onto this bot lane. Yasuo gonna use those minions to get closer for sure here. He's a bit concerned.
He's going to go in.
He's a bit further ahead of his team, but he's just too concerned about the whereabouts of the rest of the enemy team. But that was an opportunity because they were topside, both the ADK and the jungler, without teleport. And they're going to make this play. They don't care.
Oh, Django caught.
Nichu not here. Django is going to try and walk his way out of it. He has the ultimate. He ends up just burning it for complete safety there. But yeah, Shortmaster found himself alone versus the enemy jungler. They're going to burn TP off Cristrata. I don't think they're going to find that kill. And more action. Supportal combat, but Noobless says no to supportal combat. He's going to come in, trying to kill that Alistar. Another stack surely for the Cho'Gath, and there it is.
Oh, yeah.
normally Alistar finds himself okay in those situations, but he doesn't have any counter to that true damage, and Chris Strider's just going to get completely taken down here. He hasn't popped the Alistar ultimate for some reason. He needs to pop the Alistar ult to deny that Yasuo's damage. He could have even popped it mid-knockup to cleanse it, but he doesn't do any of that, and he gets taken down super easily. Spingding going to find him there, but he's caught out a bit here, but they're going to commit teleports. They're all converging in onto this bot lane. In fact, they're just going to straight up retreat. Sergeant Crone might cop a Malphite ult, but he doesn't have it. He's still on cooldown after using it to escape. Another hook here, but unfortunately it's just there, boy. No damage to be found. And Dark Knight's meleeing this choke out. He has to be careful. Oh, Caitlyn's just Zonya's for no reason. What's going on there? And the ultimate onto Lilia. This is what I was talking about. Sergeant Crone gets taken down instantly. Such a huge pick for them. They're going to be looking onto Nooble's Nest. And this is what you have to be careful about if you're Sergeant Crone. You have to Zonya's that ability, but even then you're in a spot of bother.
Nooble's is running. He's running.
He's running, but he's getting caught out. Eventually run down by the 4 champions.
Oh, wow.
The dinosaur has nowhere to run, and they're going to head towards that Baron here.
What happened on...
They're just too miscoordinated. We see what happens when Sergeant Crone is left on his own. He's been carrying so hard in these team fights, but he can't carry a 1v4 at all.
Oh, the blitz. Is he going to get a hook?
He's looking for it. Chris Strider's looking for an angle, and they find Dark Knight again. He gets another hook. Starboy has something to say. Caitlyn tries to steal, but no. And he's going in. Chris Strider is just inting. Let's be honest. That's an int. The Baron is dead. You've got no teammates to back you up.
Strider, what are you doing going in?
He just wanted to make a play. He wanted to
cut
cut losses. But yeah, it's already down. Youngblood's run away with it. And at least he's not going to get punished too hard. The caveat is he did pick up Malphite ultimate, and if he still has that by the next dragon, it could be crucial for his team. But
still ahead. It's still ahead. JSA is still ahead. It's a little bit.
Yeah,
not by much.
A little bit, but Youngbloods are going to have this Baron buff into this next dragon fight, and it could pay off. The extra stats are extremely helpful, but the way it helps you set up the waves is going to be even more helpful. They have good wave control. It could be a hard decision for job seekers to make for this dragon.
Oh, this is Soul. This is the battle for Soul.
I think something of note is also that Sergeant Crone has hit max level and he's hit max build. He's not going to get any stronger than this, while every other champion in the game basically is going to get stronger. Apart from that, Yasuo also finally hit full build there. Huge amounts of money spent on that back. He's looking super strong too. So Lilia's pretty much capped out here. Sergeant Crone can't carry any harder, so it's up to his team to like keep performing. Yeah, oh, Nixu is found, caught out here completely. Face checks a 3 champions into that, and a beautiful combination. Knock up into knock up. Wombo combo, he tries to turn it around, and Chris Strider is just headbutted over the wall to safety there. They're trying to pick him off. Spingding finally gets him, but Nublis is on his tail. Here, Artur right next to him. They have to be careful. This Yasuo has the ultimate available. He was able to pick up Sergeant Crone. They're trying to kill him. So Yasuo's outplaying. He's dashing back and forth. He's taking everyone down. This Yasuo with so much lifesteal. And the quadra kill. The quadra kill from Dark Knight. I think that was a bit of a ripper. Dark Knight was definitely pumping out damage, but Yasuo was the superstar of that team fight. He was dashing left, right, and center, outplaying job seekers completely to stay alive there with that crazy amount of lifesteal that he has.
Knock up after knock up there. That was double knock up.
Yeah, once Lilia went down, they didn't have too much lifesteal, so he was just healing so much with that mythic and that bloodthirster. And yeah,
Youngblood's creep ahead.
I haven't really thought about it, but the death timers are still 10 seconds. Ziggs will melt your towers. He has Lichbane. He's going to actually have a really good chance to end the game here. I think they end the game here. Chris Strider's not going to be able to 1v3 this. Youngblood's just ended just like that. 42 minutes. I was just caught sleeping. I was just trying to recoup after that fight. But yeah, they see the angle and they end.
Oh my gosh, that was so close. JSA was so close for taking it from them. But
and even at the end of the game, it's just like a 1,000 gold difference between the two teams. So close the whole way, every step of the way. Both teams just throwing punches left, right, and center. But Youngblood's ending up on top, clutching it out there. And job seekers, you're so close to greatness. Sergeant Crone did so well in those early team fights, and we saw some great picks from the other people. But yeah, just big plays from Springding at the end of the game to pick up that.
Well, I think I
that team
have
fight.
my MVPs and SVP worked out already. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah, go ahead, shoot it. We'll see what we think. You go ahead and lead the
I
conversation.
think MVP. I think MVP. Oh, it's a toss-up, I think, between Ziggs and Yas.
Yeah, for
I think.
sure. Ziggs got the quadra on that last team fight, but we saw Yasuo put in so much work in that last team fight, and the numbers he's putting out:
Yeah.
300 CS, 19,000 gold. He was a full build. He was not only frontlining a lot of these team fights, he was also putting out crazy amounts of damage. Let's go ahead and look at the stats if it makes the conversation. Oh, actually, yeah, I wasn't expecting that. 63,000 damage out of the Ziggs. Yeah. My god, and I thought Sergeant Crane would have topped the damage for sure, but Noobless, again, playing that front line, is able to be in a position to just put out so much damage. He's,
Damage from Ziggs, man.
yeah, I
Oh,
think
man.
that skews the conversation. Springding definitely had some crazy X Factor plays, but Dark Knight just landed the skill shots, and he kept his team in the game through. I think it is a bit inflated versus champions like Cho'Gath that are just going to tank your skill shots and heal back up with that Warmogs, but still, definitely was a key part to that fight because Yasuo was life stealing, but honestly, without the damage from the Ziggs, I don't think they would have been picking up much of those kills. So,
Oh, I think you get a black screen on the stream, by the way.
oh yeah, sorry about that. I will hop us over. I keep
Yeah.
forgetting studio mode doesn't immediately transition it.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. SVP. I'd say Lilia.
yeah, 100%. Sergeant Crane was such a key factor. He was basically single-handedly keeping his team in the game in those early game team fights. Noobless definitely had a great performance again, but he just doesn't have the X factor on that Cho'Gath. It's hard to give out MVPs when you're just walking in front. You're just landing.
Yeah.
You're landing some knockups. You're feasting the dude who was caught out. You're definitely a big part of your team, but I'd say Sergeant Crane definitely had a lot more to play around. Playing around those Malphite ults, playing around the Ziggs bombs, playing around that Yasuo that could one-shot her at a moment's notice. Definitely good performance from the likes of Sergeant Crane there, and I'm happy to give him the MVP. Now, we got to head straight into our next match here because no breaks on the train. We've just been pushed straight into our next match, but I believe you're ducking out from the shoutcasting.
Yeah, I think is Chris Strider or Billy going to jump on?
I think we'll sort it out here. I'm happy for you to go. I'm sure one of them will hop into the shoutcaster channel here.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for your time. Sorry I didn't speak much, but Liam's great at what he does, so happy to give him the stage. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Keep tuning in. We're going to do some more spin wheels soon. We might make up a couple more spin wheels like after this game or something. I don't know. We'll do 2 of them or something. But yeah, yeah. Thanks for your support, guys. We'll see you around.
So you are just alone with me for the time being. I'm sure someone else will hop into the the chat eventually. But yeah, we got to set up this next game, which I believe is for fun versus Purple Cobras. We have such good games lined up. So now we've got teams at the bottom of the standings looking to just not end up at the very bottom here. We'll see whether they're able to do it. Let's just get everyone into this lobby. And yeah, it looks like we are going to be joined by Chris Strider here. He's going to get set up into this lobby. I'm going to get the captains into the lobby, and hopefully we can kick off on time. But yeah, guys, make sure if you right now you haven't, go get some refreshments. Go take a little break from that game. We will be hopping straight into the next one very soon here. So much action brought to you, and yeah, crazy games. That's all I can say. So we've got Team FF set up in lobby here. Team Purple Cobra is just getting set up now. Hopefully not too long. And yeah, hopefully Chris Strider's hopping into the channel soon, so we have someone else just hopefully even just talk about that game, get his thoughts on it, because that was crazy. Whew. Sorry for a bit behind schedule. We're just trying to recruit. We've been like behind schedule the whole stream, just non-stop action between these two first games here between the two teams. So close, and yeah, just running down that clock right to the end here. Just keeping on time. I have a little bit of time here to switch around the logos. Let's do that while I have time. But yeah, we are just getting set up, guys. I gotta have a look at the chat after that game. That was absolutely crazy. So it looks like he's win trading. Alright, looks like Purple Cobras are starting to join the lobby here. Shouldn't be too long. But yeah, oof, what a crazy win. Youngbloods secure their way to the top there. Alright, I believe Chris Strider is in here.
Hey, yo, how's it going?
Yep. Oh my god, what a game, Chris Strider. I could, while we have some
yeah.
downtime, maybe you can just run us through. I know it didn't end up the way you probably wanted it to go, but just run us through. Just what were you feeling during the game?
I was a bit rough on Silas, as it was shown throughout the game, but I did have some key moments. But everything was going okay until that very last team fight where we tunneled in, and old mate Dark Knight just threw everything at us, and we tried to burst down Yasuo, but yeah, Imperial Shield Bow kind of saved him there, unfortunately.
It was so close every step of the way, but that timer is just the inevitable ticking time bomb. Eventually, if you do lose a team fight like that late game, especially for something like the Ziggs, he just ends up sieging your base so quickly. If there was anything else, I think you guys would have had a little bit of time left, and you could have brought that back. But unfortunately, Ziggs with a Lich Bane is just going to tear down your base. So everything ended so quick after everything was so high. I was looking forward to the Dragon Soul fight, but yeah, it just
we should have backed off. Yeah, bit unfortunate.
But yeah, what a deliverance! You guys just kept outplaying each other. Stairboy with some crazy hooks, Sergeant Crane with some crazy team fights. You had some crazy picks yourself in those team fights, frontlining on that Silas. Yeah, using those ultimates very effectively. And yeah, what a game. But in the end, Dark Knight and Sping Ding, both carries, just putting out crazy. You can't really blame falling down to those two. They were playing out of their mind as well.
Yeah, it was like a godlike game for Silas. The fact that I had my pick of litter of ultimates to choose from. Basically all the best ults in the game, just about. But yeah, just a bit of tunneling at the end.
Yeah, it's just still difficult laning phase for sure. And not to mention, Silas did cop a nerf this patch, so it definitely some situations where you were dying and it was very close. You might have lived because they did cut the healing quite significantly. So, So who knows? That matchup might be even completely different pre-patch. But we're going on to our next game here. We're already into the championship stake. For Fun versus Purple Cobras. What are your thoughts on these two teams right now?
For Fun, I feel like a very underrated. They just had a lot of swap outs recently, I believe, with their roster. Purple Cobras, they just need a lot of practice, and with time they'll get better. But they both have some highs and lows, but they're definitely competitive. If they play the game out right, they make little mistakes, and when it comes to one team fight like ours in the last game, then they'll be there. So I feel like they're good teams overall.
Yeah, so we look at the side of Purple Cobras, pretty much the same-ish, but they have a new mid lane here, Wigo, so we'll see what he can do for the side of Purple Cobras, because yeah, they have been struggling, both teams have been struggling, to be fair, and yeah, for Fun are looking to have that resurgence onto the second half here of the season, seeing if they can make their way back towards the top side of that leaderboard, but right now, they got to keep climbing, and Purple Cobras is currently standing in their way. We'll see if they can take them down here, because Purple Cobras while they haven't picked up any wins, they have looked pretty strong top side here, and we're just going to see the Z
Yep.
locked in straight up. That is a crazy first pick to me. What are your thoughts?
All right. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I just realized I wasn't invited to lobby, so I don't have vision
No,
of. I
I
just realized it.
I just tunneled too, but you'll probably be able to just spectate after the game starts because it's enabled for everyone. So,
Is it? Okay, cool.
If not, I'll just stream it on Discord or something. We'll have a workaround, but
Yep, no worries.
fact, I
But
can
yeah,
probably
Zed was just locked in.
I can probably just stream that right now to you.
Cool.
I can't stream in this channel apparently on this Discord, so game's been a bit difficult for me, but I'll just run you through it. First round Z for the side of For Fun, and second round they pick up Shen and Nocturne on the other side of Purple Cobras, which is pretty interesting picks there. Straight away, double globals almost, answering that Z. So if he's trying to make any roaming plays around the map, they have some things to answer him. But what are your thoughts on the Nocturne and the current patch?
Well, I think Nocturne is a decent counter to Zed just based off his W, even though he did get a nerf in lane phase with his healing. But Zed can't really punish Nocturne if it's Nocturne mid. But I'm assuming it's jungle at this point. But in terms of the matchup, it's probably more skill based, probably more agency to Zed if he can outplay the Nocturne. But yeah, double AD mid matchup. We don't really see those too often anymore, especially in this competition.
Nocturne, of course, not really touched in the jungle. It's more likely he'll be there, but definitely a strong laner nonetheless, and still being picked in pro. But we're seeing Ahri being hovered now. They picked up Lee Sin and Ornn to complement that Z there, so a lot more early game on that Lee Sin and some late game insurance on that Ornn, I suppose. But they answered it with the Ahri mid lane into that Z there. So you play Ahri quite a bit yourself, so maybe you can shed some light on that matchup.
Yeah, so apparently it was banned away from me twice tonight, which I was not expecting at all. But that's just what happens when you get targeted ban, I suppose. I do have some pretty decent plays, but I feel like my Ahri was pretty average so far this season. But in terms of the actual champion, yeah, she has a lot of agency. She can punish people that are slightly out of position, and not very hard to land skill shots if you practice enough. Ahri is one of the more easier champions to play, I believe.
Yeah.
And definitely a team fighter, that's for sure.
Definitely not too crazy on her own. She does lack a little bit in the damage department, but has plenty of setup for that team, plenty of roaming potential, plenty of wave clear. You definitely want to see that pick playing with the team there, but into the Z, you might find it pretty hard. Of course, outplay potential on both sides. Skill shots been pretty easy and forgiving on Ahri, but Z is definitely a slippery one. So
yeah,
you gotta pick your shots carefully. Miss Charm could easily mean death there in that matchup. So I hope Wigo is gonna be okay on his debut game here versus one of the more seasoned mid laners, Corruption. Been around for a while.
And Corruption's also an Ahri main as well.
Yeah, so he probably has inside knowledge on the matchup. And we're seeing a lot of support bans come through. They just banned out Yuumi, Leona, Kai'Sa, and Pantheon was taken away. But Misfortune locked in. So the team composition is Shen, Nocturne, Ahri, Misfortune. Quite the team fight composition there, if I do say so myself. They're able to set up a beautiful Misfortune ult. Don't really have too much CC to set that up, but they have lots of disruption is another really good way to set it up. But the bot laner for fun just picked Kalista Lulu.
Oh, that's quite high level. I see that a lot in LCK and LPL actually.
Kalista is
if they leave Lulu open.
Yeah, Lulu being one of the strongest supports on the patch, and Kalista being a very strong AD carry at pro play, but I wouldn't say they necessarily synergize well with each other. Normally you want to see the engaged supports that can go crazy, and if they overstep their boundaries, Kalista can ult them back, or if people are really out of position, you can ult them in as Kalista. Is normally the fail-safe combo, but they end up picking the Lulu there. Definitely still no slouch in that department. Lulu, of course, able to put out so much damage in her own right. Kalista, in her all-ins, will probably be going crazy with the Lulu at her side, but Endome picks his Thresh, which he's been picking a lot this season. He ends up locking that away into the Kalista Lulu bot. So Misfortune and Thresh versus Kalista Lulu. Gonna be an interesting one, but That said, we have a lot of AD damage onto the side of For Fun because their only AP is Ornn in that top lane here. So
Yeah. His base damage is quite underrated if you don't know the numbers, or, especially his AP ratios so throughout the scale of the game.
hopefully you
On into
should
Shen.
Hopefully you should be able to hop into spectate. It should put you in the spectator delay at this point. If not, then I'll organize a
Alright.
workaround. But yeah, I think the most interesting about this draft is Purple Cobras have actually put Cantanker's Gym, the player they usually play around in that top
Yep.
lane to help carry them. They've actually put him on Shen this game, and
Oh,
that's a complete 180 from their usual playstyle of putting him onto Nasus and just having him farm up and ganking his lane, trying to get this Nasus snowballing going so they have a potential win condition. But this time they're nervous, and Cantanker's Gym have picked team-oriented picks of Nocturne and Shen, so they're probably going to be working around the map here, trying to help out that bot lane, help out that mid lane, really just rotate around this map a lot more with these champions. So I'm excited to see this new strategy from Purple Cobras. We'll see if it ends up working out. They did have a bye last week, so they had some time to strategize, and if this is what they've come up with, I'm excited to see it. But
yeah, they didn't draft. They drafted pretty well, all things considered. So they definitely have a win condition in an ideal team fight scenario. But I don't think I can spectate game, unfortunately. If we're in spectator delay.
we'll try hop into another lobby, and I'll see if I can stream down Discord. Hopefully my bitrate doesn't tank, but we'll work something out here.
Alright.
Alright, we'll see. Can't stream in this channel either. This Discord's being a problem. Maybe I should call you on Discord. We're figuring things out. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna hop over to the major sponsors right now. We'll give them a quick shout out before this game kicks off. 1 minute left on the spectator delay. And yeah, still the same major sponsors. Still give them your love, guys. Paul's Ice Coffee, Northern Territory Government, and McDonald's Darwin. It's just these guys can't stress enough. Helped us out so much. Make sure you guys are sending them some love and you are consuming their products. Trust me. Paul's Ice Coffee helping me out so much in the mornings. Make it to my job on time. Even though half the time I'm not making it on time. But we don't talk about that here. We talk about McDonald's Darwin also helping us out and giving us some vouchers to give away this stream. And Northern Territory Government giving us plenty of funding to help support the scene. And we'll go over to those minor sponsors. And Next Tier Entertainment, Serotonic Beauty, VR Gamers, Gammon Creations, Tracy Village, Social and Sports Club, Hot Springs Tavern, The Rabbit Hole, Palace Findia, Fresh Point Cafe, John John's, Diamond Barbers, District North Kitchen, Wicked Energy, Joyce Main, Next Level Gym, and Bell Accounting, all our minor sponsors of the season. Thank you so much for supporting us, and I believe we should be done here. So I'm going to start sharing my screen here once the client starts up, and we should have a workaround for the time being.
Alright, let's just hope you don't tank too hard in your stream.
We'll know. I'm sure I'll have a bunch of angry viewers in the chat afterwards, but we shall see. Your stream is still running. We've paused this preview to save your resources. Good, good. So you let me know if that's worked out here. At least we don't have to worry about synchronization issues if we've got this workaround.
Yeah.
We'll be seeing the same screen.
Yeah, it's looking pretty solid, so I guess we got that sorted out.
Alright, so I'll swap us over to the gameplay, guys. Give me just a moment. We are loading onto the Rift, and we should be all good to go. We'll see if any team decides to play, do any cheesy stuff early game. Zoom us out here just a bit. I can have a look at where they're playing out. Looks like Purple Cobras aren't looking for anything early game. They're dropping wards. Nervous playing pretty passive position, and yeah, likewise on the side of For Fun, they're just stacking a bush just in case they come through with that invade, with that thresh. They've got the numbers to back it up.
Yeah, so pretty standard start coming out from both sides. I believe they just want to execute their early game as per normal. They don't want any early game shenanigans, especially with a scaling composition like Ornn, Lulu with Callista, and with Lee and Zed to carry out the early mid game, and with potential snowball effect as well. But what are your thoughts on MF and Fresh? Do you think they have decent synergy together as a bot lane?
Yeah, I think aggressive support with ABF can definitely give champions like Lulu a lot of trouble. You can pressure a lot with that Q in lane as MF. It's quite the thing to be overlooked, is that Q actually has so much agency in the laning phase, especially if you kill a minion, it automatically crits, and having crits early game hurts a lot. Anyone who lanes versus Tryndamere will learn that the hard way, how strong crits are in the early game. But
yeah, you would know out of all people. So.
yeah, it is definitely overlooked, and you can have a lot stronger early game than people think Miss Fortune is known for. But definitely, after you hit that level 3 there, she's very strong. She has everything she needs. She sets up with the slow, she has attack speed, she has really good auto attack resets with the Q, so you can burst out people in short trades. Now, where she usually suffers is long trades versus champions like Kalista and Lulu. If she ends up pushing the trade too far, she won't have very good cooldowns early game. So they'll end up turning it around with the Rend and the Pierce and stuff like that. So you have to be careful in that bot lane matchup, pushing it too far. But I'm expecting Purple Cobras bot lane to play a bit more passive. We see Hector Ken Septic already getting caught out here by Greedo. He's pushing up so far. He has the Rend. He's going to dump it, deal so much damage there. Cantankerous Jim probably has a bit of an advantage early game as that Shen enters matchup. There is a bit of outplay. You can of course like immune the taunt, but Shen doesn't care. He was probably just still going to do a lot more damage than you are, and he's able to dodge your auto attack from that Ornn empowered W. So
yeah,
definitely not an easy matchup.
Yeah, Shen definitely does have a strong early lane, and same with Ahri as well. I'm hoping to see Wigo actually max out W here, so he doesn't have to use his Q to shove the wave by accident. So hopefully we'll be able to see that coming out from Ahri. Early days yet, but looks like Nocturne and Lee Sin are hovering within scuttle range.
Yeah, definitely might see a bit of a scuffle here. Both mid laners are about equal, but the difference is the top lane can rotate a lot faster here. Simdini ends up picking it up here, but there is a fight to be ensued. He ends up burning that flash early. Perhaps Shen still looking to trade it back, but like I said, that top lane here is rotating earlier. They have to get out. Cantankerous Gem might have a flash taunt here if he gets in range. He's going for the blade. Nova's still flashing in. The tower is there, and he's going to get ignited and died. Unfortunate overcommitment. Wigo trying to trade back. He ends up burning his own flash in the mid lane, and now Cantankerous Jin finds himself in a spotted bother.
Yeah, he's in big trouble now.
He ends up trying to dash away, but he gets it cancelled, and he ends up dying there. A huge misplay there from Purple Cobras in the early game is going to net them such a bad lead to start us off here.
Yeah, a bit of unfortunate play there coming out of Nocturne and Ahri. Ahri had a chance to flash taunt the Lee Sin, but decided to walk up and taunt, able to get out. So unfortunately, they overchased and then they got punished accordingly. But bit of a misplay coming out of Nocturne, taking 2 tower shots for free. Guess he just underestimated the tower range from that angle of mid lane.
Yeah, definitely was an overcommitment there. They really wanted to get something going in the early game. That's usually where Purple Cobras struggle, and if they were able to pick off that kill, it would have helped them out a lot. But unfortunately, it ends up going the complete opposite direction there. And now it's looking pretty difficult for them to make a comeback. Bot lane has stabilized a lot off that early bad trade, but still, the farm numbers do not look too much in your favor. Still,
Ooh.
Top lane, not looking too bad. I believe Shen's going to have the advantage just because the wave played out in his favor when Ornn roamed down. But definitely mid lane looking a lot harder with Zed picking up all that early AD, the serrated Dirk on top. Just going to make it so threatening to be in that lane with that Zed right now.
Yeah, and Lee Sin definitely looks accelerated as well. Ahri, in theory, should win this matchup pre-6 pretty hard, but that just all comes down to if Ahri is maxing W in lane phase. But man, this MF's being bossed around, unfortunately forced to burn the heal relatively early.
Yeah, unfortunately, once you've given a little bit of your health bar up, you no longer win the all-in at all there, so they can just keep forcing trades. If you turn around, it turns into an all-in, and if you try, if you just run away like that, you just eat free damage. So it's a lose-lose situation. You're really looking for Thresh to try to set you up with some hooks, but Endome trying to conserve his own health bar, just trying to cut their losses there. So at least they aren't dying here. They end up getting the free recall off, but I'm looking towards this top lane right now. It's looking pretty pretty disastrous for the side of Purple Cobras because Simdini has read this play like a book and he's going straight in outplays the Nocturne Fear. They're looking forward to King Tanker's Gym. They find the Lee Sin Q, and he has the Warthog to finish the kill. Simpdini ends up picking that one up pretty cleanly there.
Yeah, and that's why we banned Lee Sin when we took them on. He is pretty proficient on the champion, and he's able to snowball relatively well. I would say Lee Sin is probably one of the more well-known champions to make the highlight plays for the whole team and the classic insects and stuff. But a simple Warthog there got the job done, and he's definitely running away with it at the moment. He has full jungle control.
He's got full kill participation. He's sitting on that serrated Dirk as well, putting out so much damage in this early game. He's a force to be reckoned with, and if you're going to do anything as Lee Sin, definitely make sure it's early game for your team here. He's setting them up so well. And yeah, Corruption has a little bit of an opportunity. Ari doesn't have access, never mind, has just ticked over level 6 there. But yeah, you said this is quite Ari favored. It is depending on really the situations. You really should have a guaranteed charm if Zed lazily ults you, because he's always going to end up behind you, so you can just charm, you have the ult to get away, and you can turn a lot of damage back onto him while he's in that charm state. But unfortunately, there is lots of Zed mechanics out there. If you drop the W first, then it's basically a 50-50. You can ult behind them, and you can W straight away to fake out that ult going behind them. You can actually go towards your W. The Shen ult coming through. We have a little bit of skirmish at the Dragon here. Corruption has his ultimate. He dodges out onto that taunt beautifully there. Ends up picking up Nervous. His entire team backing him up. Kent Tanker's Gym unfortunately finds himself in the middle of 4 gems. Is going to go down. And yeah, this is looking like pretty difficult game for Purple Cobras already.
Yeah, unfortunately they capitalized on cancelling Ari's back twice, so he had no mana for that fight whatsoever, just barely enough for a charm, and they just sent the TP in there. Oh, a missed hook coming out of Thresh. And man, this set is starting to look pretty scary right now. I'm wondering what he's going to buy first. What do you think he's going to buy first, Playdexter?
Let's see, probably after the Prowler's Claw nurse, it's still probably the best item. Unfortunately, I do like to see a bit of Dustblade shenanigans, but just having that extra active on top of the already crazy mobility of Zed and the armor penetration, it's just no-brainer. I think Prowler's Claw is just best in slot for sure, Mythic, but who knows what we've got in the books here. He can basically choose anything and be effective when he's this far ahead. And, you know, Riot does recommend the Dustblade for multi-kills, because you do get those resets onto kills here. Finally, a play onto the top
here we
side,
go.
but he has flashed. That burning flash is in return, and finally they pick up a kill. Purple Cobra's on the board. Nervous picks up that kill here. Finally, I was a bit concerned, because normally the best part of Purple Cobras is we see is their top side, and we see that it's really struggling in this game. At least it's just going for the play here. Doesn't have ultimate to finish off Nervous, but he's looking to turn around into Ken Tanker's Gym. He's got to be careful. Shen does no slouch in that early game damage.
We have Ari hovering.
And Dome looks for that hook there, but Ari isn't really finding an angle. That Lulu still has ultimate, Callisto still has ultimate, and Dome going for the play. And Ari charm misses, but so does the Callisto ult. They're trying to turn it around. Greedo kiting it out here. Looks like they're just going to reset after so many skill shots went wide. That could have gone either way.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you miss those key skill shots, nothing's going to happen.
And that is not the item I was expecting at Zed. You could definitely see that still being thing, but I think it's a bit too passive. I think, honestly, you should be just looking for the one-shot players. If you're looking for survivability on Zed, it's really...
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we go just over-positioning. And yeah, there's not too much damage to follow it up. Heptic, Antiseptic, completely out of mana. Has the heal to try to survive, but Lulu picks coming through. Just a tiny part of damage. And Nervous might have a pick here onto Simpdini. He's gotten behind him with the fear. And Dome has the hook and the flay. He gets the hook, and yes, finally they trade back on the Simpdini. Big shutdown there. Good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And Nervous
Definitely
is like, yeah, finally finding some revenge onto Simpdini, who had been outperforming him a little here, and finally catches him off guard with that bot lane positioning. But these junglers have been tracking each other pretty well. They're always fighting each other, it seems, in these lanes. Following each other around. And yeah, finally goes the way of Nervous. He swings back.
Yeah, much needed gold there, but I just noticed that Nocturne does have blue smite, so I think he's opting for... not quite too sure if that's quite the correct option for Nocturne, but I guess you live and you learn. But I guess he wants to trade with Lee Sin and try to hide out his abilities. That's the only reason I can think of.
I think it is a mistake if you do go Stridebreaker, because there's no real point stacking those slows. But if you went something like the Gore Drinker, you definitely see it being usable. People like Chovy mid lane, when they did play Nocturne, they actually preferred the Gore Drinker for some reason over the Stridebreaker, even though it had all that crazy slow, because he just likes the staying power of Gore Drinker in those team fights. And if you have the Chilling Smite, you can get the best of both worlds. But now that he has double slows, they really don't stack well with each other. I do think it's a bit of a display, but at least, you know, the Chilling Smite has a little bit more range to play around. Simdini coming in for this gank top lane. Cantankerous Jim probably not going to find his way out of this one. Not too much he can do when at least it's just walking up to you like that.
So a bit unfortunate. It was warded, but I guess he just got a bit.
He just went in at the wrong time there. Big chunk. Corruption finds all his abilities, finds the death mark. Nervous trying to trade kill this, has the fear. He's gonna pick this one up, but he's gonna get caught out by Simdini here. Does he have the jukes to dodge out in this queue? He doesn't need to. Simdini just walks in range. And
he has flash as well, but
yeah, Simdini just plays it calmly. I probably would have got hit. Unfortunately, you can't ult Lulu that's been pulled in by the Calista, so Hectic Empty Sectic's gonna have to flash out of there. But yeah, this bot lane hasn't been going as awfully as we've seen it go in the past with Purple Cobras, so there's definitely an improvement there. They've survived the laning phase to some extent here. They're trying to turn it around onto this Lulu, but she's just too healthy for that likes of Hectic Antiseptic. Hectic Antiseptic is always finding himself out of mana in this laning phase.
Yeah, and if they don't know how to control waves and recall, they're going to have a very rough time as they are now. But I have seen some improvements compared to the games in the past. Definitely Hectic more comfortable on this Misfortune pick, and the Thresh pick actually working out quite well, landing some decent flays and able to try to peel for MF as much as possible. But when Kalista and Lulu have that lead and a lot of agency, it's very hard for them to even stay in lane, if that. So looking pretty rough for Purple Cobras at the moment.
Yeah, and I do like some adaptation. They're trying to play a different style, but I don't think the style necessarily suits them. They have to really practice and hammer out old habits, because we see Cantankerous Jim, look at his position. This is the position you want to play as a split pusher, as someone who's like looking to carry his team. This is not the position you're usually playing as a Shen here. Of course, it's fine for him to do that, but you can clearly see the way he plays his lane is he wants to be pushing the enemy tower. He wants to be playing these split pushes like the Nasus. He wants to be gaining advantages, and he hasn't really been ulting around to save his team that often. So there's a bit of a playstyle mismatch there, but Nervous, I do like him onto this Nocturne. Nervous has been
here we go.
really good. And yeah, they don't have anything on the way to save this Calista there. No flash, no heal. Almost finds the hook there onto Fiasynth. Does Endome, but they're looking to turn it around. Corruption coming through. Yeah.
They're going to try and outplay this, I think.
Yeah, no, they're just going to back off unless they see a potential angle. Hectic Antiseptic is frontlining there. He's going to turn away from that Zed that could potentially one-shot him. And yeah, they're just going to shake hands and call it off here. But I wonder why Shen just ulted, because I don't think it was on cooldown before, and it's now on cooldown, but we probably saw the Owen just go up into him and cancel it or something.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why he flashed there, but I guess it looked cooler. That was an interesting pick there. Simdini pushing his advantage even further. If he lands this Q, he's going to get it, but no, doesn't need to. Corruption gets in range for the final attack and Nervous's life there. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess just some style points.
I do see an issue with the way like this top lane has played out. Obviously, just judging off one game is pretty mean, but yeah, I do think if you're gonna play through, don't look at your screen, guys. Don't look at Misfortune is super dead there.
Try to shoot a way out, but it didn't quite work out.
If you're gonna play this playstyle, then Cantankerous Jim needs to play more for his team and less for his lane here, because we see how little it's working out. It's actually just getting him punished. He's playing Shen, who's just easy picking through these ganks here, and yeah, it's just working against his favor here. If he was playing on champions that have potential outplay, or they're a bit more mobile, a bit more sustained, you know, he could have done something in this matchup, but he's on the Shen. He's playing a team-oriented pick, and it's not working out for him.
Yeah, it's looking definitely a clash of styles, so to speak. So they're trying to do too much, even though they did draft for a very simple composition. The fact that they're not able to utilize it in any way, shape, or form, it just shows that they're slowly going to fall apart as the game progresses. Even though there is a bit of a, I wouldn't say team gap, but just time to play the game and practice, so they can fix out their, you would say, shortcomings in terms of just lack of experience in the game and playing together. And Team FF, they have been around for a while, and they definitely are looking for a pick here. Zed very confident,
He thought
playing that
against
far up.
If it was the Ari, maybe different story, would have gone for the one shot, but unfortunately Nocturne not as easy with that spell shield, and that extra health he's built up is definitely going to keep him safe from the one shot at the very least. I would be very scared if I was the Shen right now. Nocturne is on the wings, but that tower is super low, and the Rift Herald is available. He's going in.
They're going to commit.
They're going to commit, but the tower is going to shortly go down to that Rift Herald. Can they find any kills beforehand? No, they can't, and the Ornn is completely fine with that Lulu backing him up.
Oh.
Burns Flash, but surely only going to keep him safe for a couple more seconds as the enemy team close in.
The wild goose chase is on, but he wants to execute the turret by the looks of things. But oh no, execute, died to turret. And Lulu actually picking that one up there, so you could call that a small win for Shen, but Lee not picking that one up, unfortunately.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I don't think it matters at this point. They're up 11 to 12,000.
Oh.
Goodbye to your AD carry. There's nothing crazy about that. In fact, I think the crazy part is why did he walk towards the Zed on Vision? That is the craziest part to me. But
yeah, just probably hasn't versed a lot of Zed, so doesn't quite understand the champion. But I'd just like to touch on the Ari pick. I believe it's a very good pick in any stage of the game, and no matter how far you're behind, just because of that taunt, the ability to catch someone out. I'm not going to say that it's possible here, but with a couple of picks, you never know what could happen. So Ari's definitely that champion. Does lack damage, but has a lot of utility for her overall team composition. But maybe that's why it was banned away from me the last two games. It was unexpected.
yeah, I do think it does pair well with picks like the Nocturne. Nocturne can get in there, cause a lot of chaos, and then the Ari can find those easy taunts. Unfortunately, Antiseptic is just not finding these great bullet times. There isn't really great opportunities for him, but he's still burning the ult anyway. So he's got to learn to control his trigger finger there, because it is a really important cooldown, and to be chucking it out for these iffy situations like that Zed, he is well and truly gone over that wall. Sorry, if he held on to it, he might have been able to find a possible situation to use it for this dragon, but we're thinking of dream scenarios here that currently 12,000 gold down will probably not let you do much. Hardly makes a difference how you play this game.
Yeah, and the fact that they're actually letting a charm. This is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
They actually kill Lee.
The hook as well. Simdini has nothing left to get away. Does he turn it around? But no, they burn the Shen ultimate to keep him alive. But again, that's a very lackluster Shen ultimate. And I believe he's going to be okay in that situation anyway. So can Tanker's Gym with another poor team play.
Yeah, I believe FF got a lot of gold just then. Yeah, if they keep making those picks time and time again, they can slowly come back in this game, but it is quite the lead to come back from. So, FF just camping in the brushes, waiting for someone to walk on by, but they made the smart play here.
Yeah, they're trying to catch them out, but Kel'Thas might be called out. He's too tanky for them to tank down, though. One of the shortcomings of Ari is just you do not have enough damage, and we're seeing it here as Kel'Thas sits in the middle of the entire enemy team. Corruption going even further ahead, has the shadow to duck back. Completely outplaying here, and yeah, they're just running for the hills. He goes for the finisher. He doesn't have the damage with the rend. He still pops anyway. Unfortunately, doesn't find that kill, but hardly matters. They're still going to push for inhib here. And yeah.
Yeah. Definitely looking very rough for Purple Cobras. The fact that they couldn't get Ornn even remotely down 4-on-1 just shows the gold lead here is just way too much for them to handle.
Yeah, they're looking to take some Nexus towers here. Doesn't look like they are capable of doing it. Just going to rotate over to that mid lane. Slowly but surely take this win away. Nothing flashy, just textbook plays. And yeah, It's looking pretty over. Maybe one last team fight. Right, we haven't seen an actual team fight from Purple Cobras, but honestly, I think it only looked even worse than what we've seen previously. If we saw all 5 champions together, he's going for the big play, finds the insect kick, doesn't even need to, he just one-shots him. Nervous, trying to find the pick into the backline on the 80 carry. Nice charm and a beautiful Q doing lots of damage there for the Ari, but yeah, we just see there's not enough damage to back it up. They actually didn't play that fight badly at all, but unfortunately the gold is just not there in your favor. Team for fun, surely going to push through for the win now with all those picks.
Yeah, the timers are a bit long here. They can finish relatively quickly, but I think they're going to try and stat their KDAs just a little bit more. Nah, they're just going to be aiming for the turrets by the looks of things. Lands a decent hook onto Orn.
Yeah, but his health bar is not budging, as we see as he stands in the middle of those 2 champions, finding a huge knockup in the middle of everyone, just completely tanking them up. Ari trying to put out as much damage as she can. Shen chopping the ult, trying to keep his jungler alive. They're trying so hard, but the gold is just not there. It's so sad to see. Just League of Legends can be cruel like that when you fall behind. But yeah, Team for Fun take it out in clean fashion, taking out Purple Cobras, and unfortunately, yeah, it's ending the game quite quickly there. Had a couple bangers tonight, but Purple Cobras weren't able to fund the turnaround. With this new strategy, I still like to see it. Still like to see new strategy and adaptation, not just another Nasus pick, because it wasn't working before. This one didn't work. At least you can move on to bigger and better things, and at least you have an idea now. Like Nasus at least worked better than the Shen. We can say that. We've learned something from this match. But if we just keep picking the same thing over and over, we don't really learn too much things. So I do like to see adaptation out of Purple Cobras. And for fun, I do like to see that they are taking this game way cleanly. If despite having that poor performance earlier, they're still able to bounce back and take out a clean game versus Purple Cobras. So good performance.
Yeah, much needed win.
We'll move straight on to that discussion of MVP versus SVP. I think we'll start off with the easy one here. I think the SVP is pretty clear cut, and you can only really look at one person.
Yeah, Nocturne has a lot of agency, so he's able to have the highest KP, and he's able to go around the map and help his team as much as possible. So pretty clear cut that it is.
Yeah, he had a big oopsie early game. I think that is definitely a big takeaway, but still, there's not many positives looking at his teammates here. We're trying to find good points. Ari did have a lot of plays. She found some great picks, but unfortunately, like we just didn't have the damage to back it up. And yeah, the bot lane, they didn't do awfully, but they didn't do good either. They were definitely outskilled there in that matchup, and yeah, Kentanker's gem just off his comfort pick in the top lane. We can clearly see he's had an off game, but he's allowed to have those every now and then. He's picked up a lot of MVPs so far with his performance, so I think having an off game is more than acceptable. He's just got to learn from this and come back stronger. Now, MVP. I find it pretty difficult. Obviously, everyone on For Fun performed very well, phenomenal performance on all of them. But I think just in terms of flashiness, you're looking towards that Zed and that Lee Sin most likely for their play here. What are your thoughts?
I feel like throughout that game, Lee Sin just spoon-fed everyone on his team. He was always at the right place at the right time. Zed just pretty much got fed off that. He didn't really have any flashy plays until Lee Sin came around and until he got his items. And I do question Zed's items at first, but still able to pull it off. I just feel like Lee Sin or Sibduni had more agency and more impact overall on the map. But Zed is Zed, so he pretty much does what he does, which is just goes in and assassinates whoever. I'm kind of leaning towards Sibdini on this one.
Yeah, I was leaning towards it too. The only takeaways I have is he did get caught out a couple times. He did give up a couple of things that he probably shouldn't have. Been like Lee Sin is extremely mobile, but yeah, he was just playing pretty aggressive, just pushing the envelope. I do think Corruption definitely close there, but yeah, Sibdini with that early game presence, it definitely set up a lot of those plays in the early game to get his team and the ball rolling there, and he was tracking down Nervous so well. Nervous definitely didn't play this game bad at all, but Sibdini definitely made him definitely fight this game in the early game. So I'm happy to give it over to Sibdini.
Awesome.
And with that, we will probably move on to our viewer giveaway here. So, just looking over at the chat, I've seen lots of interactivity from Theater Zoe. As always, he deserves a win one of these days here. Corruption in the chat, Asian bus drivers. I might just chuck all the recent commenters into the wheel here, and we'll see who takes it away. So give me a moment, guys. I'm gonna edit this spin wheel, and yeah, let's just talk about what's a good topic to talk about in the meantime. What do you think? What do you think about the standings now that we've hit the halfway point almost? After 3 more games after this week, we've hit the complete halfway point. Everyone would have played 8 games, and yeah, what are your thoughts on the standings so far? Just how things have played out this season.
I think all teams played out as expected. I think my team, Job Seekers Alliance, we did have a lot of closer games that we probably had agency to win. I think besides the last game, maybe a game before that, it's good to see young bloods always come out swinging. I expect them to always be in the top 4. Of course, your team, Jupiter's Angels, definitely have a hold on the first place position at the moment. The flawless games coming out of you guys, and Destiny. They are playing well, but I just don't think they're practicing enough. I guess they just don't have enough time, and they're just using their skills and experience to carry them over. But I think the underrated team that has improved over the last few weeks is probably Casuarina Gentlemen. Helped coach them a little bit, and they were able to get a couple of key wins to keep them in contention with the top 4. They're definitely in the running. So those are my thoughts so far throughout the season for the teams.
All right. Yeah, definitely like to see some teams like FF and Casuarina Gentlemen that had kind of shaky starts. Start to surge up a little towards the back half here. Of course, those giants on the top are still going to be giants. Youngblood's Destiny and Jupiter's Angels all pretty much holding on to that top 3 the whole way through. But definitely, that just puts the target on their back coming into the second half of the season. I'm looking to see what these teams can do to upset. Because we've already seen a big upset in the way of For Fun versus Destiny. Who knows? I think if it happens early on, it's probably going to happen more down the line, and we'll see how these teams can hold on to their top spots. And another team we haven't talked about too much is Corona Spaceship. What are your thoughts on this team? It's kind of been silent.
Well, they did beat us convincingly last time, but we drafted pretty bad, unfortunately. We've had scrimmed them, and we've both won a couple each. I feel like they're definitely in contention with top 4 with Youngbloods and potentially ourselves. With more practice, they can definitely give the top teams a run for their money. That's for sure. They do have the skills and experience on their roster. Same with us, and same with Youngbloods. But I'd say they're an actually very good team. We've noticed that over our scrims.
Yeah, I think the most interesting part is this team was still going through slight roster changes. They've recently put Hunt into the mid lane and Fevens into that bot lane. Fevens wasn't really having great performances into that mid lane, but he's had some great performances on support, and most importantly, Hunt into that mid lane has looked really good. So I think that they're starting to figure out their identity, and coming into that second half, we can really see them start to perform. I'm excited to see that team, especially. But I'm also excited to see this viewer wheel right now. I've picked out some names, and hopefully you guys are still sticking around in chat. I'm about to spin this wheel, and we'll see who picks up the giveaway for tonight.
Hopefully Theater Zoe can not be left hanging after all these weeks, but
he's gonna have to, because Nick Chu takes it out from under his teammate of all things, robs him. Nick Chu's tired of getting robbed for MVP, so now he's gonna rob Theater Zoe of his giveaway prize. So hopefully, Nick Chu, you're still out there, still watching, because yeah, you've just picked up a big win for yourself. I'm gonna go ahead and spin the prize wheel, even if he's not here, because I know him. I'm able to give him. I'm able to get the prize form to him. So
yeah, might give him some motivation to respond in chat. Who knows?
Yeah. But we're gonna go ahead and spin that prize wheel. Keep it going here. More wheels to be spin. What are we gonna be picking up? Is that the second Tracy Village voucher. Damn, we're gonna be partying pretty hard at Tracy Village. Yeah, $95 voucher. Just in case you guys aren't aware, there is that big next tier esports league party coming up. I think honestly this voucher is probably the best thing to get for that $25 and nothing to slouch at. Because yeah, we're definitely gonna be partying that night. $25 is gonna make your bank account look a little less worse the next day. So big pick
Yeah,
up
a
there
couple
for
of
Nick
drinks,
Chu.
that's for sure. But
Big pick up there for Nick Chu, but not too sure how much I can give away, so I'm just going to leave it away at that for tonight. Definitely some more prizes to be given away on Saturday, guys, so make sure you're tuning in onto the Saturday stream. But other than that, I think we've covered everything pretty well here. Maybe one more shout out to the sponsors, but yeah, other than that, almost there at the halfway point for Northern Territory Esports League. But one more shout out to the sponsors, and we'll just close off the stream. Paul's Ice Coffee, Northern Territory Government, and McDonald's Darwin, our major sponsors. Thank you so much to this crew and our minor sponsors coming right at ya. Next Tier Entertainment, Serotonic Beauty, VR Gamers, Gaming Creations, Tracy Village Social and Sports Club, Hot Springs Heaven, The Rabbit Hole, Palace of India, Fresh Point Cafe, John John's, Diamond Barbers, District North Kitchen, Wicked Energy, Joyce Main, Next Level Gym, and Bell Accounting. We are finished there with the sponsors. And yeah, some great games tonight. Definitely some notes to be taken there off that last game for Purple Cobras, but yeah, hoping they don't give up too soon. They've definitely got the rest of the season to make a name for yourselves, and at the end of the day, you don't even have to win your prizes. They're still picking up some FCPs, and honestly, it's not about it's not about the end result. It's about the journey. A lot of the time, this team might have struggled a lot in this season, but if they continue to stick around, you can bet your ass that it's going to pay off the next season they enter. They're going to come off with so many lessons learned. They're going to probably come out with a good idea of the other teams in the scene, and then they can really grow from there. There's really nowhere to go but up for that team. So
100%.
still, I was trying to recover from those earlier games. Youngblood versus Job Seekers and versus Job Seekers, both banger games. I don't know how you do it, Chris, how you can play in those games. It's tough casting it, but must be even tougher playing those sort of games. But I think at least now you're done for the week. And yeah, on to the next half of the split. I'm not sure if we want to give too much away, but what are you looking forward to change now that we're at the halfway point? You looking to make any big changes?
Well, I have been practicing a couple of champions. I'm not really worried about hiding them because if you just look up my profile anyway, it doesn't really matter.
No secrets when op.gg exists. Maybe just hop around on the Smurf accounts if we can. But yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, there's so many tools nowadays. Just get around it.
Yeah.
You can't really hide much in a small scene like this.
Yeah, so you'll definitely see more different picks coming out of me. Not just because I get banned out a lot, but I guess my main picks are a lot more scary to deal with in lane. I do see things that other mid laners don't when it comes to trading and the ability to make plays. But besides that,
I do think it's underrated because you haven't had super stellar performances compared to some of your other players, but that's enabled by the fact that you draw bans, right? So if Nublis is having his key picks taken away, sometimes he has his set taken away. If he's had his Cho'Gath taken away in those games, he probably would have had to play a lot harder on champs he's not comfortable on, or the same for Stairboy, always getting that Blitzcrank. It's very underrated when a player is able to draw these bans consistently and set up his team for success. So I think that's the silent carry there. You can't really discredit yourself too much for not performing on these other picks because you're already doing a great job. If you're in Champions Select drawing bans, that's already a bonus as a player. I think that's something definitely to be commended for. And yeah, definitely everyone respects you in the league. That's why they're doing it. So can't really blame them. I think job seekers definitely have some work to do, but so does everyone here. But definitely looking forward to the resurgence on the second half of the split. But still have some games left, and may as well just talk about the schedule for the last remaining games this Saturday, and then we'll close off the stream here. So just pulling up that match schedule here, we have in week 6 Saturday, Purple Cobras versus Corona Spaceship at 3 p.m. on Saturday. 4 p.m. will be Casuary and a Gentleman versus Destiny. We'll see if another team can upset Destiny or can they keep their streak going well. And AD Ashraf versus Jupies to finish off the halfway point. After that, we'll have clear-cut standings and we'll be able to see exactly where everyone's at. But without further ado, I think we are going to call it there. Definitely keep an eye on Next Tier Space Facebook page. Definitely some big things to look forward to. The FIFA competition, guys. The party coming up. And I believe even our League of Legends teams, I have some big plans coming up for the streams in order to, you know, keep it interesting for the second half of the split. We'll add some more stuff towards the streams. Maybe some interviews, some other stuff. I'm going to brainstorm some ideas and we're going to come back even better than ever. So make sure you guys are sticking around, watching the streams. But that is us done for tonight. Do you have any closing words here, Chris?
Besides all the support that we get throughout the viewers and our sponsors, we're very thankful for everyone that tunes in and has registered to play. We can't do it without anyone. But expect me to bring out some banger picks in the second half of the season. I think I'm going to start trying to hard carry a little bit more, but at the same time, gotta.
Yeah, say with confidence. Call people out. Call out NTE Sports. I want to hear more people with call out. Maybe we'll see it once we get some more interviews coming through. Because normally NTE Sports we had a lot of banter in the past, but the captain's been pretty nice this season. It's actually too easy for me to administrate. I need some captains thrown out, some banter every now and then. Destiny behaving themselves too well. They're even showing up on time sometimes. It's crazy, but. Well, we'll see what we have in store for the second half. That is all, guys. I'll be ending stream to some music right here. I'll catch you all later.
I'll see you later.
Peace out.